I think this is it. Are we live? Yes. Fantastic. Sorry I'm late, everybody. I was actually feeding the fox, of all things. I hope you can hear me all right. I've changed the settings for the audio. So, yeah. All today is about crop circles. And amongst other things as well. I've literally... sorry for being late. Honestly, I've been in and out, literally. Yeah, doing my thing. Trying to get new content for... this is just literally the past 20 minutes. I've been in and out filming these trails in the sky. But anyway, sod that. Let's get on with the show.
The question of the origins of crop circles has never yet been nailed. Many think, there's an intelligence behind them. They think they're made by aliens or extra-dimensionals. I mean, it's a big universe. There must be other life out there. Whether it's coming here, of course, is one of the great debates. It may well be that we are being visited by other intelligences, and maybe they feel like leaving some graffiti in the fields. Some crop circles have had direct information in them. There was one very famous one in 2002 that looked like the classic alien holding a disk of a binary code. Well, that can generate text on a computer. And the message was, beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. And then it went on to warn about they opposed deception and that the conduit was closing.
I hope you can bloody hear me. No idea what I'm doing. Honestly, all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alien Addict. So nice to see you. This is the show where we research diverse topics and give you the best information I can in terms of anything I put forward, really. It's been a mixed bag this week in terms of what's been going on in the sky and in fact what's been going on in the UK, because today is all about crop circles. Yes. Nothing new. Don't worry. But it's nice to see the topic finally coming back into fruition. Let's turn this down a little bit. Could anybody hear me, like, during the intro at all? I have no idea. Let's go through chat. Hey, Fire S Norm. How's it going? Nice to see you. Sheep up. It was One True Saxon, Rebecca, John Stokes. What's what we got in here? Ant Woodward, how's it going? Truth is all. Nice to see you. So yes, nice to see you all. yeah, sorry for the lateness. I have been in and out trying to make content for my next trailer video. I've got literally 3 minutes so I can actually say the word. So yeah, today is all about crop circles, and I've been doing a bit of a deep dive to a certain degree. I mean, I've got a big fat lengthy book here that I want to sort of go into to a certain degree, but I've got more videos to show than anything, because you know what I'm like when it comes to reading. I'm pretty bloody crap. But I've got some big news, guys. Some big news. Take a breath in or out. Let's do the sheet. Just do this shit. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I haven't 420 yet. But I do have some big news, guys. And you are right, and Woodward. Take a deep breath in. Because I finally, well, before we get to that, Ollie gave me a shout out yesterday, or the other day. He was saying, mate, hey, Rotary Matrix. Nice to see you, man. Welcome on in, brother. Welcome on in. So yeah, a couple of days ago, Ollie gave me a shout. Says, look, Lee's going to be on his own for the Daily Conspiracy podcast. Would you want to pop on with Lee and talk about conspiracies? I was like, do you know what? I'm kind of conspiracy theoried out, but it's always good to talk about it. And I thought, yeah, sod it. Why not? I haven't spoken to Lee in a while. And I have to admit, guys, and this is it here. If you go to Spotify, let's put it a bit bigger. There you go, so you'll be able to see. UFOs, social engineering with Alien Addict. And I tell you what, I had such a blast with Lee. It was amazing. We literally went 2 hours, and we think we finished about 15 minutes before I went live with Hidden. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, honestly. Hold on, let me just change the style of that. I don't like that. There we go, that's better. Yeah, honestly, I didn't plan anything. It was just when me and Lee, literally before the show, we just started talking. It was like, do you know what? Because we were talking about like social engineering and the fact that the people have basically changed since COVID. There's been like this dramatic shift in people. I mean, I think a lot of people have become dumber. Whether or not that's to do with the vaccine, was to do with social media, it's a many different factors to be taken into consideration when it comes to the dumbing down of the people. Social engineering is a big part of that, and obviously we were talking about it during the podcast. But I had such a blast, guys, and yeah, go check it out. But not only that, Alien Addict is finally, we have a podcast. Yes. So if you want to hear all this live show, plus I thought, do you know what? I want a platform where I can actually talk freely to a certain degree. You know, I want to say the word chem. Has it been 8 minutes yet? Not quite. I want to say that word and all the other words without having any restrictions. And what I want to do, at least once a week, is to do an hour-long podcast where I can just not have a dry mouth. Do apologise, guys. Terrible on your 420 before the show. And I dropped the lid. Well done, Nick. But I want to talk freely. I don't have these restrictions. So what I'm going to try and do, the best that I can, once a week for an hour, talk about any subjects, anything new, up to date. It doesn't necessarily have to be conspiracy theory, but anything that's strange, because you know me, I am a conspiracy theorist by trade, but I like mysteries and anything strange, especially like strange events going along. I'm going to tell you something really strange a little bit later. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to have a platform where I can speak freely, and just get people on the show, get Hidden on the show as well. Sorry guys, I got a terrible dry mouth. Running around everywhere. So yeah, go check that out, the Alien Addict podcast. And all the live shows are up there. So I have to describe practically everything I'm actually showing on screen. But yeah, thanks Woodward. I do appreciate it. And for those who are listening on Spotify, I'm probably the best looking out of the three of Ollie, Lee and Dave. No offense. Probably get a lot of shit for that. And one thing, I am a terrible reader, hence I'm going to butcher this name. Sir Solo 76. Is that right? I do apologise if I butchered your name, and this is going to be a very common theme with Alien Addict. So yeah, but yeah, everyone in chat, thank you so much, and I'd like to welcome all our new listeners as well. So yeah, on Alien Addict, with ufology, so to speak, because yes, we do talk about aliens and stuff like that. Let's get me on full screen. Hold on. Where am I to? There we go. So yeah, obviously we talk about aliens and general conspiracies. I would consider myself now as a chemie. It's 10 minutes. I'm basically a hardcore chemie, which is basically, I film the skies for chemtrails. Basically, that's what it is. You know, pretty much every single day I'm out there filming the skies. Like for instance, just before the show, I was out there doing a video on all these trails. In fact, I did one the other day. Before getting to crop circles, I just want to show you something, because I'm quite proud of this video I made. If I can bloody find it. Where is it? Okay. Right, this is from my YouTube channel called The Cosmic Twilight, which I am going to change back to Investigate with Nick, because Cosmic and Twilight are two words you don't put together, because it sounds extremely gay and camp. No offense. So right here, so the Weatherman Said Part 3, An Honest Opinion. Now this was taken about 4 days ago, where there was a lot of trails during the day. Well, it was throughout the day, basically. But then I said to myself, right, okay, what are these trails actually doing? Is it actually blocking out the sun? And you're going to get a brutally honest opinion from me about dimming the sun, blocking out the sun. I don't want to dedicate this episode to it, but go check it out if you wanted to. It's called The Weatherman Said. I'm going to put the link in the description now so you can see it for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so this is one part that I do, not on Alien Addict, this is my normal YouTube channel, is that the fact that I film the skies every day, and I, especially the days when you've got like a lot of trails in the sky, and I sort of track them, see what they do throughout the day, whether or not they actually block out the sun and make any difference to temperature. And the other day was extremely bad, but it did make a difference. But that's my honest opinion on that. So yeah, go check that out after the show, obviously. And yeah, I think that is it for that. So what is on the agenda tonight, me all lovely jubblies? Let's bring my notes up. It's going to be weird, honestly, listening to this on Spotify. Because honestly, I've got anybody that is used to my channel, or any Alien Addict, especially me, I do a lot of presentations, especially on like Nazi flying saucers. You kind of really need to be watching it live, because I've got like hundreds of like photographs and publications to show. It's really quite fascinating. But I shall do the best for you Spotify listeners, you out there, on today's show, which is crop circles. But not just crop circles. I caught something in the sky. Okay, there's a ball of light, but there's many other people around England who has been seeing the same thing, and I've got some recordings of that. Chemtrail, like, we can sort that. I've just done that. Paranormal photographs, and we just go through Twitter next and see what happens with that. I've got some bookmarks and all that malarkey. So yeah, let's get on. I tell you what, I'm going to bring something up. I'm going to test your mind for those who are watching. I'm going to bring something up, and for those who get this first, you got to put the word. You shall win this lighter. Right, ready? First one to put the name down of what you think this is. A bit of pareidolia here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right, what that is. Oh man, Spotify's listeners, you are like you are missing out there. Hold on, wait a minute. I just got to do my thing. Time is ticking, guys. What does that smoke looks like? One true Saxon, buddy. There we go. Looks like a massive cock and a set of bollocks as well. Got to put that in there as well. But yes, one true Saxon, a cock. Penis, exactly. All right, ready? Another one. Marilyn Monroe. Right, last one. All right, ready? Okay. looks like a woman's underwear with legs, right? Right, ready? Watch this. It's only a bed frame. It's good, isn't it? Do you know what? I've got loaded of these photographs. It's like almost like an optical illusion. It's a bit like pareidolia. Let me put the camera back on. Oh. Yeah, this is, I thought it'd be quite funny to show you guys that a bed can, if flipped upside down, look like a woman's undies. And some thighs there. Isn't that fun? What else? All right. I was speaking to my nan the other day, and she was talking about the Dutch house. So this is in Bristol. Isn't it beautiful? Stunning, isn't it? So this is in the city centre, and it's absolutely stunning until the Germans came along and did that. Blow it up. Yeah, it happened in the Blitz. It's such a shame, isn't it? Such a beautiful Tudor house, and then just bombed. That building still survived, but this is what it looks like now. Pile of wank. Going to be honest with you. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, this is our little pet fox. I've just fed. Is it he or she? Do you know what? My missus says it's a she. I've seen nipples. I've seen nipples. Oh, is it loud? I've been screwing around with the volume, so I do apologise if the lighter sound is really noisy, if that's what you mean when you Saxon. But oh yeah, it's the calm down. Yes, it's a calm down mode. Yes, for those who are new to Alien Addict, it's a 4:20 time for me. But this is Roxy, a fox. She's out there now. Wait, I just fed her. But isn't she a beautiful fox? Absolutely stunning. That is our resident fox. Not fox. There's a bloody cat in it. Isn't it cute? His name's Toby. No, his name's Oliver. Look at that face. Isn't it cute? Get a little face. Yeah, so as I was going through my videos on basically my chemtrail analysis videos, this is what it was like the other day. In fact, I tell you what, I'm going to get to that later on, because this is how many chemtrail videos I've actually put out in the last couple of years. I am not joking. It's more than bloody UFOs, for Christ's sake. This is what I mean that I'm a chemie. Look at it. Anyway, sod that. Let's get out of that. I want to talk about that a little bit later. But today is all about crop circles. Immensely fascinating phenomena that's been going on since, well, if you want to be technical, about the 16th century. There are some theories that fairies are part of it, can also make rings like stuff like that. I will get to videos that are going to explain it, but I need to find out what I'm going to show first. So let's get my notes up. I still got that penis cloud that's like covering the whole entire screen. Right, let's bring out the notes. So I would agree that the fact, even with Rotary, was saying that the crop circles are such complex patterns. I mean, really to extreme detail. Yes, Rebecca, there's been a lot. I have to admit, a lot in the past couple of days. But I have noticed with crop circles, it's some of them look like really intricate, and when we get to some crop circles that look to be man-made, seems to be quite far-fetched. And there's one thing that I haven't brought up any videos of, which I have to do a quick search of, is the debunks for it. We all know the debunks, using the plank of wood with a string, going around a circle. I mean, some of the crop circles I'm going to show you is absolutely crazy. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, I'm such an idiot. There we go. So I was thinking to myself, okay, what have I got to present in terms of like publications? Because you know me, I collect old vintage books and magazines on ufology, and I found this in my collection, of all things. So UFO Reality, issue 4, that came out in October to November of 1996. Yes, don't worry, Rotary, I do have Richard D. Hall. In fact, this might be a Richard D. Hall episode, okay? I think the algorithms hate his name, but sod it, because he's got one of the best documentaries on crop circles, and I've got that ready. In fact, Rotary, you put earlier, before the live show this morning, about the connection between crop circles and 9/11, and I've got that geared up as well. Yeah, don't worry, because believe it or not, guys, there is a connection between 9/11, the World Trade Center, and crop circles. I'm going to get to that. It's going to be a jam-packed episode today. Lovely animals, foxes. I always feed them, ginger bastards. Only joking. Love the animals more than humans. Yeah, honestly, One True Saxon, this fox, I reckon, give it a couple of weeks. I reckon I can feed it from my hand. It literally comes up to me. It's a bit wary, but I don't know if they got like rabies and stuff like that. Do they got rabies? I don't know. She seems like really tamed, but then my cat comes along and like flipping scares him. But honestly, I love foxes. Absolutely adore foxes. I think they're stunning animals. But my God, did they make a racket? Yes, don't worry. We've got to get to that. Yeah, I do believe it's an absolutely 100 true phenomena. Now we're going to get to how did these crop circles get so intricate? But bear in mind, I am not ruling out the fact that these are man-made. Okay, some of them are, and some of them are obviously genuine. We'll get to both perspectives on what is actually genuine and what is actually fake and gay. Now, before I get into this, I persuaded my girlfriend that we're going to go to Wiltshire and find some crop circles on Sunday, but the weather is pretty crap, and we're kind of debating, obviously because it's a hot topic, because it was actually going to be German flying saucers today, but crop circles were cropping up as the trend. I thought, sod it, let's go along with the trend as we're a UFO channel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it if the weather's good. So hopefully, because I only live like about 40 minutes away from Wiltshire, where this crop circle has been happening. Yeah, I cannot wait. Yeah, so this is one of my magazines, which I buy on eBay. How much was it? £2.50. Bloody hell, that'd be a lot more money. Probably be almost for like £6 in today's money. So yeah, let's just go through the pages on this. And I will get to chat. Oh yeah, just found this here. For the Spotify listeners, you really need to have a look at this. I've got some photographs here. This is a mystery picture. Guys, look, come on. This looks like Billy Meier sort of stuff. Look. Look at that. Right. So these startling photographs were sent in anonymously with a compliment. Yeah, go figure, Spotify listeners. I'm a terrible reader. Startling. They were taken in Florida while they are certainly fucking hell, bollocks. Should have never 420. This is a problem. Go read it for yourself, guys. All right. But this photograph, the phrase we coin on Alien Addict, that's fake and gay. I could read this last bit, or do you think they are just plain hoaxes? Honestly, I'm going to be truly honest. That aircraft there kind of looks like a kite, in my opinion. You could say that could be a kite, and that's just dangling down like a Billy Meier style. Gonna be honest, I think we can safely say this is accurate. Guys, fake and gay, what do you reckon? Anyway, let's get rid of this stuff. Right, these are crop circles from 1996. Look how intricate these are. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to read. This is truly the most spectacular formations to have ever appeared. It is awe-inspiring. Not only the symmetry and precision, but in the circumstances of its arrival. It was found on Sunday, July the 7th, 1996. This is the problem. I cannot read. I've become nervous now because I can't read. It's made me extra nervous. Anyway, let's look at these crop circles. So most of these crop circles, guys, are based upon, you can see here, Stonehenge, which is obviously in Wiltshire. We have got Avebury, which are the stone circles. Pewsley as well. So it seems to be circulating around almost like a ley line. Okay, there's a lecture I'm going to bring up in a minute. The first thing I'm going to show you. And it's going to show you how ley lines, and if you haven't been to Wiltshire or Glastonbury Avebury. There is an energy feel to it. I am not joking. I've been to Glastonbury numerous times, and I've been to Avebury twice. And the first time I went to Avebury, which is a lot of these crop circles turn up, I had like a massive headache. You can literally feel the energy. Probably a bit sensitive to this sort of stuff. And this is where a lot of crop circles have been appearing. Now, going back into the 90s was a different matter, because you could say from 1996 it was like the golden age of ufology. Let me just explain. You had Independence Day, Men in Black. Was it 1996? Don't think it was. But obviously the X-Files, crop circles, animal mutilation, a lot of stuff I can remember as a kid being quite prevalent in ufology at the time. And obviously crop circles were like one aspect of that. And I believe this was in Mexico somewhere. Oh, no, look. This is it. Look, Avebury. This is it. Avebury has got a... How can I explain it? I tell you what, for those who do CE5, I reckon you can conjure some flipping UFOs in that sort of area. It's so weird. If for those who are in America, I don't know if you've been to any of these sort of, I would imagine, sort of Native Americans like areas where almost like it's been like haunted, or there's like some sort of vibe to it. But with Avebury and Glastonbury and Wiltshire alone, it's such a weird vibe. I cannot explain it. It gave me a headache once, and I ate and drink a number of how many was it? Yeah, it was like 3 pints before we went out to the Stone Circle. So I was fully hydrated and had a full stomach. And for me to get a headache like that, it was pounding. It was terrible. But like I said, very, very strange place to be. So yeah, this is taken in Avebury, which I could go to actually. What else we got here? So these were all taken in Wiltshire, as you can see here, and obviously Stonehenge. I've never been to Stonehenge. Graham Hancock's wife said to me it's got like a very strange, bad vibe to it. I could go there actually Sunday. Could do. And here's some more amazing patterns. For those who are listening on Spotify, I do apologise. just picture in your head crop circles. Let's go through chat. All I remember from the 90s is pills and come downs. Was you one of those ravers, One True Saxon? Was you one of those... what was the prevalent at the time? It was bloody ecstasy. Ecstasy. I've said the bloody word right, yeah. It never really agreed to me, that sort of stuff. That pill. Let's just go through chat a bit more. Disney spent a lot of money to find and stir for Disney World, built on converting landlines, placing the... Oh my god, rotary. Hold on, I'm just going to read it in my mind. Oh, that's interesting. So was the place built on a ley line or something like that? Or were they looking into it? Hey, Paul Demon. How's it going, man? How's it going? What else we got here? Oh, I'm just going to call you Sensei. How's it going, man? How's it going? So, yeah, here are some pictures of some quite incredible crop circles. Now, one thing... Oh, yeah, this just reminds me of Hidden. Look. that came up in the book. Look. Hidden, you there? Oh, bollocks to you anyway. Look, I found you. Just need a joint in your mouth, mate. Oh dear. Right, okay. Well, yes, crop circles is obviously a real thing. Now, obviously, the mainstream media say, oh, it's just done by boards and bits of string. Okay. What kind of a possibility. Doug and Dave was back in the 80s. I'm going to come to them, and they managed to do a crop circle, and it's basically like a circle, and it was shit. absolutely dire shit. So you could just imagine like sticking a pole in the middle, and you got a string with a board, and you're just basically using the string as the pulley to go around the circle. But otherwise, some of them is just way too complex, and we need to get into this. Because this is why I got videos. Oh, let's bring up notes. Yes, crop circles, obviously, blah, 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 show magazines, and I butchered it terribly. Right, okay, so at the moment, if you go onto Twitter, everyone's talking about, well, to a certain degree in ufology, crop circles. A new crop circle turned up in Wiltshire. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it seems to me that people, probably in like America or abroad, don't really know the area. Look, crop circles show up all the time. Hold on, what's that? Is that going to work? There's a thing on the side here. Hello? Yeah, so basically, I forgot my train of thought there. Hold on, let's bring up my notes. Okay, yeah, sorry. People saying that is a relatively new phenomenon. Truth is, it's not. Yeah, it's actually working. Hey, Chillster, how's it going, man? How's it going? So what I'm going to do is bring up a video. I think it's probably one of the best ones I'm going to bring up. And I think, I tell you what, no. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? What's going to make sense? I tell you, let's bring up Rick Clay. Because there is a spiritual phenomena to this aspect of crop circles. And I would kind of treat it a bit like CE5 or conjuring, or one way you could say communicating with extraterrestrials, the beings, so to speak, I should say the spiritual entities, that aspect. And through meditation, obviously CE5, you can do that. Now, there have been some people out there who can actually conjure up crop circles, and it depends how spiritually aware you are, but I have heard of reports of that the fact that if you do some sort of meditation and you want to conjure up extraterrestrials, I mean, we're talking about spiritual entities here, extra-dimensional entities, or even ghosts for one thing, and crop circles come into fruition as well. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play something from this guy here. At the end of June, I will be doing a full episode on him, this guy here, Rick Clay. And he was talking about crop circles and the fact that he lived up in Leeds, and he began to become really interested in crop circles, and then suddenly things started to become a bit weird, like where crop circles started to appear near him, which basically is like 200 miles away from where crop circles normally appear, which would be in Wiltshire, but he was based up in Leeds. So let's bring up what he has to say about crop circles.
Interest to him. Mm-hmm. And I'd made a decision with my friends to go down and look at the crop level 2 Reiki, crucial pinnacle factor in, like, you know, just completely snapping my old mindset. And I'd started paying an attention to crop circles in Wiltshire. Like I knew of crop circles like in
Hey, Jamie Musin, man, how's it going, man?
Really paid an
Welcome on in.
Mm-hmm. And I'd made a decision with my friends to go down and look at the crop circles. And basically,
all right, mate.
On the day before we went down to view the crop circles, I'm based up in West Yorkshire in Leeds. I looked on Crop Circle Connector website just to get a good feel for where the crop circles were, so we could find them when we went down. Mm-hmm, yeah. And I noticed that there'd been a new crop circle found, and I was really baffled at this, because basically this new crop circle had appeared about 2 miles from my house. Mm-hmm. And this was pretty much one of the very first times that a crop circle had appeared in West Yorkshire, about 200 miles away from where crop circles normally appear. Mm. And so I rang up my friend who was coming down to Wiltshire with me, and we both drove out to this crop circle that had appeared near us, and walked into this crop circle, and the energy in the crop circle was magnificent. There's clearly no one had been walking in this, and all I could put this down to when I was like stood in that crop circle was that, this crop circle had appeared the night before, telling me that I was doing the right thing by going to Wiltshire to look at the crop circles. Do you know what I mean? Like a synchronistic kind of event in which there's like a full manifestation of a crop circle in a field, like right near me, and they'd never been in this area before.
Interesting.
It was pretty mind blowing. So on the Saturday, we took the car out, drove down to Wiltshire to near Avebury, and obviously near Stonehenge and the likes, and visited a few more crop circles. And on the night, we attended a talk by Danail who's done a lot of work in 2012 shamanic practices and consciousness and the likes.
Right.
At this lecture, there was a crop circle researcher named Michael Glickman, and having a good chat with him. And I asked him, I said, why would it be that on the day before we come down to look at the crop circles in Wiltshire, one should appear right by us? Like, what is that? And I mean, this researcher himself had been researching for 20 years, said basically that, when you start showing a true interest in this kind of stuff, like a synchronicity when you call someone and like they pick up the phone having just thought of you, it's the same kind of principle. Like if you show interest to these crop circles, then they'll start appearing near you. And, I mean, for a researcher of 20 years to tell me that, I was quite stunned at essentially like, what I was hearing and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the point. That the fact that if you start become interested in, even like with ghosts and like UFOs, 2 seconds, guys. You tend to conjure up things. It's like the universe is sending you a message, but you have to be open to these things. To be honest with you, Jamming Music Man, I've talked probably to, I was going to say that word, but a lot about Rick Clay. Near the end of June, by the end of June, I am going to do a live stream on him and his work, because that is when obviously he passed. Yeah, I don't know about that. To be honest with you, Rebecca, I knew Rick Clay back in 2008. I knew everything at that time when he apparently took his life shortly after this interview. I'm not going to dedicate an episode to that, but there is some speculation whether or not he was like taken out or something like that. Overdose. No, I don't think so, mate. It's a bit complicated than that. A lot of information has gone since 2008 on Rick Clay. Like I said, just wait until June. But I find the guy immensely fascinating. And it hasn't been a year gone by since 2008 since I haven't thought about Rick. But yeah, it's a shame he left us. He should have stuck around. But yeah, we'll get to that. But the point I want to say is that the fact that if you become like a true interest into the topic, you will start to conjure up stuff. And the other day, I was thinking like that something in the back of my mind said I should really look up. I should really watch the skies, and then actually managed to capture something. So it's hey Steve White, how's it going, brother? How's it going? Wow. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know the true outcome of Rick, but all I know he's obviously passed and all that. Yeah, it should be interesting because Rick Clay dealt a lot with like the Olympic ceremony back in 2012, like the lead up to 2012, which was a big thing for me at the time. Like something big was going to happen, so I kind of want to touch upon that amongst the like symbolisms and stuff like that. But it's quite interesting. He went through so many different topics on the conspiracy realm. It was kind of like a bit overloaded, really, to be honest. So yeah, that'll be the end of June. My tribute to Rick Clay. So let's bring up some videos to explain what crop. Let's throw that out. Fucking twat. Honestly. Right. Where is the website? Where is... Aha! Right. Okie dokie. For those who don't know, Glastonbury Symposium is a fantastic conference that happens every year at the end of June. And it talks... I think it's July, actually. And it talks anything mysteries, like crop circles, UFOs, spirituality, anything that's like mysterious, anything to do with honestly like conspiracies. It used to be all about crop circles. But then they started to change. This is back in the early 90s when this conference started. And then eventually it started to change up to like different topics. I went there a couple of years ago. What was the topics? It was mostly like AI sort of stuff. But it was immensely fascinating. So it's a 3-day event. And you can... be conspiracy brained to the max. Honestly, you'd be physically drained, okay? But there's one thing that they do on the Glasgow Symposium is coach tours to crop circles every single year. Yes, you, my friend, you can go on a coach trip, a one-in-a-lifetime experience to a crop circle. And I've always said to myself, how the bloody hell did they know a crop circle was going to show up, just bang on the end of like July, do you know what I mean? So I think crop circles have been going on, they have been going on for many, many years, and it's nothing new, okay? It's nothing new. Wiltshire has crop circles every single year, whether or not they're man-made or not. But as you can see, there is a crop circle and the coach tour. I tell you what, sod it. I'm going to book a ticket and I'm going to go on one of these tours. Okay, if I can't make it tomorrow... Oh, there it is. Thursday the 24th of July. Right, I shall book the day off and I'm going to go on a crop circle tour. And I shall be just me, like, 420 in the middle of, like, crop circle. I'll be like, what? Like... conjuring up some UFOs here. Well, flipping Klaxar in his way here. Get some like quality weed. But no, honestly, Glasgow Symposium is a great place to be. Like-minded people. You meet friends and then you lose them because you realise what they're actually like. The problem with conspiracy theory people. No offence, but they're kind of a bit much sometimes. Not naming who. If you're watching. I know who you are. Hey. Oh, no, I say Paul Demon. How's it going? Peace pipe. Yes. We need a peace pipe with my... Do you know what? I quite like smoking through a pipe. I have to admit. Let's get through chat. Hey, Moody. How's it going? Yeah, do you know what? I could live stream from my phone, couldn't I? Depending if the frequencies play around with the crop circle and stuff like that. We know if the live stream goes smoothly, the bloody the crop circle is fake. Oh man, I was just gonna go through chat just in case I missed anybody. Hey, John P Adventures. I thought I missed somebody. How's it going, brother? How's it going? Oh, flying high 9999999. Peace with you, brother or sister. How's it going? I think that's it. Where's Bob Lazar? Hey, Mark G! How's it going, man? I think that's it. So, Rebecca, what are you saying here? A lot of crop circles is money-making business. They are cases, I would imagine the word, that are not well known or hidden. Yes, we should get to that. I think, personally, if they are man-made, I think they would have perfected it by now. Okay? There's one of them... It's like... we'll get to it. We'll get to photographs in a bit. Let's bring up videos. Because I ramble. Okay, let's bring up this. So this is a presentation from the Glasgow Symposium. I think they've unlisted it because they kept on getting banned from YouTube. But if you do type in the Glasgow Symposium, they've got loads of presentations on there. Absolutely tons. And this is one from Dan Wilder. Crop Circles, Layers of Mysteries. And I do have a timestamp here. 2 seconds. Obviously, he's a researcher and he's released a book not long ago called Layers of Mysteries. And I've got another book I'm going to show you in a minute. And the timestamp for this is... Right. Oh my God. Bye, mate.
One of the things in here which I'm going to talk about in a bit I haven't.
Can you hear that?
It's Barry Reynolds' work back in '94, Berlin Gap '94. So, starting with bent nodes, if you've heard about them, they are the joints in the stem.
No, I tell you what, Richard T. Hall does a way better. I tell you what, we'll just go through this. Give this guy some due diligence, if that's the bloody word. But Richard T. Hall is probably one of the best ones, and then we move on to it's his bloody name. Guy I kind of don't like. I shouldn't have said that. Andrew Johnson.
Stem. The stem grows from the nodes, and they're pretty solid. If you know the thing I'm talking about, they're pretty firm.
Can you hear it all right now?
You can see them in all crops. They just are those joints. What you can't do is, as a human, you can't bend them. You can't make them bend. They're not soft. They're just solid, because that's the growth point. The only way that you could see a bent node is if some stems have been flattened for whatever reason. The crop will grow back towards the sun, a process called phototropism, and it will grow from the node. So naturally, if there were some stems that had been flattened, they would naturally grow back up, so you'd have horizontal and then upright. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about nodes of stems within crop circles that are bent, but they're not bent as a result of the crop trying to recover and grow towards the sun. So just to emphasize, what we're talking about is something that is impossible to make happen. It is not possible to make it happen. Yet, here's an example here's one of the all-time great crop circles, the Phoenix. You must know it, 2009, Yatesbury. And that image is from there. But the Phoenix contained just a sort of a massive array of bent nodes, but they're not bent flat along the ground and then the crop's growing up like phototropism. They're bent sideways. So,
do you think they had string for that? Okay, because there's like one indication you can see where a crop circle is actually man-made, where obviously you see these tracks here, these two tracks going in, that's like the walking area. But some of the crop circles I have seen, you can see where they've actually walked through, like on the side, and yes, it's a clear indication that this is obviously man-made. Do they need string now? I mean, I can imagine the technology, they're probably like using apps and stuff, but at the same time, you don't want anything glowing if you're going to be doing this at night. You know, you don't want to cause attention to yourself. I'm just trying to think here, because this was taken in 2022, I think, 23, something like that.
in some of these areas, and I can't...
Oh, to that question you were saying, Solo, yeah, the sun has been quite active, for sure, but I don't know how that sort of affects crop circles to a certain degree. In terms of geothermal activity and crop circles, could be a correlation between that, but it's how did you get this intricate patterns? And obviously the sun does play a massive factor even on weather, earthquakes and volcanoes. That's one true fact on that. In terms of crop circles, mate, yeah, that's a good point you put there. A really good point.
I can't tell you where. Crop stems of the barley that's flowing around the corner was bent round the corner by the bending of the node in whole sections. It's an amazing thing. I've included that image because I keep seeing it. This is my picture of it, but people use this image and it's just something, because it's a giant tuft of standing barley with all the other stems just flowing around. I like it, so I'm showing it.
Oh, is it? Oh God! Oh, I deal with it.
Nodes.
I deal with it later.
This
Shoot,
formation, 777. If you've ever heard of Gary King, heard him speak, you'll know that. And I'm not going to tell you the complex story of this, but it's also amazing. He was...
I'll show that a bit later.
On top of
Truth is all.
Knapp Hill. There was some filming with night vision cameras. This enormous formation appeared within a really short time.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've got the alien head, and it's got the disc, and if you decode the disc, it has an actual meaning to it. Obviously, we'll get to that. I just want to go through chat for a minute because you guys are really important. The tracts are to let the farmers know what's been planted, I think. Okay. I've always wondered that. Yeah, because if you look at that picture there on the right with a crop circle, it wouldn't make sense why you had so many intricate lines going down as like a walk path if you're using the machine. Yeah, I've always wondered that. That's interesting. Yeah, you got a good point there, Rebecca. Debut Globe. Globy. I remember one of the tricks when making a crop circle is to pick up a time in the early morning. Okay, when the draw is settling. This allows the plants to be bent without exploding the nodes. The nodes, whatever it's called. They don't bend. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I would say sometimes, not all the time, the ground can be quite wet, depending if you've got like a very humid night. The ground will have this like very fine wetness to it, and I know that when I'm walking across the lawn, like the big lawn, your trainers tend to get like quite wet. So yeah, I guess so. We'll go for it. We'll go for it. Obviously, as a farmer, why quiet it? Yeah, this is it. This is the other thing. Is like, why is it so stigmatized? It's obviously people in the field creating these things, and I'm not denying that. But as the videos I'm going to show you, is actually a more deeper meaning to the patterns and how it's actually done. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Some guys designed a machine like a pendulum. Yes, we'll get to that. Yeah, I got all these videos going to be showing. Yeah, that's it. That was on the Richard D. Hall documentary I'm going to be showing in a minute. Crop sprayer wheels. Distance between the spray and patterns. Okay. Do you know what? I think I just realised something. One of the videos, it showed a guy cutting a field or like laying down seeds. This has nothing to do with crop circles. It was an actual farmer. And what happens, see the individual lines here? Well, he has a computer on his dashboard on his tractor, and it tells exactly where to put the seeds. I think that's what it is. It's yeah, you're right. Actually, I'm learning everything. I might become a farmer now. Now I've found that thing. Do the same thing in my bloody garden. I think that might be it. Yeah, because I clearly remember that. Let's just clock my memory there. Yay, learning. Right, so that's done with that guy. Let's put some due diligence, because is that the word? Whatever. Because he did do a presentation, and his name is Dan Vilda. Crop circles, layers of mysteries. There we go. Crazy shit. Often seen them in fields, Nick. Yeah, obviously. But they are swell when they are real. Sure, why not? Also, the time of year can be important too. Yeah, this is it. Even like spring, it still can get quite damp as well. I guess so, mate. As being a gardener, I kind of get your point of view there. But I've never tested it. I do it when I go to crop circle hunting on Sunday. Get there early in the morning, and because the thing is with these crop circles, I think you need permission. Actually, I'm pretty sure you do need permission to go into these fields. So if you do it early in the morning, I've got the crop circle website, finder website. So hopefully you get there like first thing. So, but apparently under the microscope, there is a microscopic. Did I say that right? So Grok says satellites move in the same direction. I saw some amazing shit the other night. I did also too, Mark G. Shit was moving in the opposite direction. I saw them through the telescope. Okay, well, I caught something the other day, and a few other people saw the same thing as well, which I'll be showing after crop circles. Little balls of metal. Possibly. Look like... Fucking hell, like it looks intricate. I'm back to 420 again. I definitely is a very good idea. Yes, Richard D. Hall is definitely brilliant. Adam Woodward. Yes. Man, guys, you guys keep going, isn't it? All right, tell you what. Let's ping up Richard D. Hall. Because this is perhaps the best documentary to show. Is this the best quality? Yes, Rotary would know this guy. Easy Math Solutions is probably the best guy to go to find anything related to 9/11 Twin Towers. I think he still go live on Saturday. I think it is. I haven't watched any of his live streams in a while. But yeah, Easy Math Solutions. He uploaded this by Richard D. Hall. I've been following Richard D. Hall since 2008. When he was a true UFO believer back in the day. He had something called the Rich Planet Starship back on Edge Media TV. Oh, those were the days, man. Those were the days. And this is a documentary he put out, I think about 2010, I think. Oh, it feels nostalgic time for thinking about that. Hidden Truth by Richard D. Hall. And I'll say one of the best documentaries to find on crop circles. Let's bring up a time period. What's that, 110? Yeah. Okay. I was going to say fake and gay then, thinking about it. I swear to God.
What's going on?
Yeah, cool. Let's do this.
Assumptions and use language which is ambiguous at best and meaningless at worst. They provide pseudo-explanations of how circles are formed, but clearly have no true understanding of what is going on. Some researchers, however, are more objective in their approach.
Yeah,
Robert Hulse and David Caton have been investigating crop circles since the mid-1990s and are well known for their activities in gathering and analysing physical and photographic evidence. I started by asking them how far back crop circles go.
Okay, right. I'm going to play a lot of clips of this because it's going to show you a lot of information. What's real, what's fake and gay. When the UK government was getting involved with Project Blackbird. It's quite fascinating. So I'm going to shut up for a while. I'm going to skip ahead, but it's just for you to understand because, like I said, it's one of the best documentaries to show on crop circles. And I think these two guys are dead. People in chat, do you know these guys? Is that him? Derek Bird case? Is that the Rebecca? Is that the Highgate alien thing? That one, the Derek Bird case. Not too sure. It's been a while since I've looked into that. Okay, and on Wednesdays. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, they're both wearing cardigans, so are these two go? Looks like an old couple. They might be. I don't know. At least they're keeping their hands to themselves. They can just do what they want. If they want to bum each other, that's absolutely fine. But let's listen to what the people have to say.
Well, I mean, they've been around for hundreds of years. Certainly, going back to the 17th century, the mowing devil woodcut is an example of that. But I feel that the early fairy rings, which were flattened areas of grass or crop, could well have been early examples of the crop circles that we see today.
Okay, and these older circles that are basically recorded in history books, shall we say, that?
Sorry, I don't.
What kind of patterns are we talking about?
Okay, sorry. Rotary. No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen that one. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Okay, all right. But no, that sounds interesting. That really does. Okay, let's continue.
Well, more likely simple circles, I would say.
Yeah.
Becoming a bit more up to date in the 1920s and the 1930s, and even during the war, 1940s, people in the farming industry in those days remember when they were kids, they play in them, they find them on a regular basis.
What countries are they appearing in now? And are there any specific areas in this country and other countries that they appear to occur in?
Well, they're all over the world, aren't they?
Yeah.
But, latterly you've heard from in Scandinavia, Italy, Germany, France.
Canada.
Yes, America,
quite a few in Canada.
Canada, probably good ones there.
Yeah.
And in this country...
And in this country, it appears to be focused on one particular county, am I right in thinking that?
Well, Wiltshire and then Hampshire second, I think, in terms of numbers.
But Wiltshire mainly.
Yeah.
And I think it could have something to do with the ley line system, which seems to be concentrated very much in the Wiltshire area, with Stonehenge and particularly Avebury. The area around the Vale of Pewsey.
The long barrows, the stone circles, as Robert says, Avebury.
Yeah.
And that men have erected Silbury Hill, of course, is still a mystery why Silbury Hill was there, is a link with our past, and maybe that's what they're trying to say. We are linked to your past.
The people who built Avebury, for instance, built it there because they were well aware of the energy, and I'm quite sure they used that energy for various purposes, possibly healing.
And am I right in thinking that the complexity has increased over the last kind of 10 or 15 years?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, they changed to what they call pictograms, and you started getting different shapes. And
that's like the signs, isn't it?
Or oval shapes.
And is that predominantly in the UK then, or has the complexity...
Yes.
Because I did see one in Holland that was a very complex shape.
But the more complex shapes started in the UK and then appeared in Holland later, much later.
And my understanding is that you believe that some crop circles are man-made, whereas others are not man-made. Now, can you explain to me how you distinguish between the two?
Well, just going back a place, we've learned along the way. I mean, we made mistakes when we first started, and we would give a crop circle the thumbs up as being the real McCoy. When looking back, we realise they weren't.
And when you say real McCoy, you mean that it hasn't been constructed by man? Man?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Via a mechanical means. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. So you've made a mistake, and why?
Yeah. Well,
was
because we were not recognising all the signs, and we were new to the business. It's a learning curve, and everyone wants to believe, including us, that the formation we've gone into, which reminded me of a bit of a trek on foot to get to them. You want it to be the bee's knees. Yeah, you don't want to be disappointed. You know?
We didn't want to be critical. We wanted to find the real thing.
Right.
I think that's a good answer to say, because when they are new, anyone's new to this field of research, you're going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes, okay? And it's always good to learn from mistakes. So this is why I trust these guys a bit more than your average person to go out, because I've seen so many people go out to a crop circle and you can clearly see that the board marks, indentations in the stems, and there's people going down there and in the middle of the crop circle that's been man-made and going, oh, I can communicate with Klaxais coming down, oh, my spiritual entities, I can feel them. As like literally just, it's just loopy people, you know, who just instantly believe what they're seeing. But these guys really want to get down to the nitty gritty and find out, okay, what is real and what is fake. So I have to admit, I do take my hats off to them, and actually would admit to say, look, we're going to learn from our mistakes, and we have made mistakes. So fair play to them.
Okay. And when you actually got down and started examining these things in detail, tell me what you started to find.
Well, first of all, as you go into the formation, you can immediately get an overall impression by the general lay. Yeah. You know, either it's very, very flat.
Yes, Massillfield. Yes, that's right.
Yes, I mean, the genuine crop circle is almost perfect. Yeah. The lay flows like water flowing down a stream bed, you know. Okay. The man-made ones, because they are mechanically stomped for the most part.
In a half just pace, you get sort of bunching or layering of the crop, the seed heads.
I can't get a picture of my head.
This is the implement. which was confiscated from Hoax's Madison.
And these are done using a plank of wood attached to some rope, which somebody will basically stomp out.
Stomping board, yeah.
That's right. But the genuine ones are so fluid. There are no mistakes. There are no.
Okay, let's pause it there. As you can see, it looks different, doesn't it? In one way, kind of looking at it, it's laid differently, isn't it? I could honestly say like a ponytail sort of structure. Did you see what I mean? It's got a structural pattern to it. Instead of actually having a board to lay it down, I think a lot of these are laid down gently in a spiral effect, which I find absolutely incredibly fascinating. I really, really do.
Acute changes of direction.
Yeah, right.
And what about any other clues within the crop itself of boarding?
Yes, well, the board impacts the stems.
Hey, comfy sofa.
Stems. So
Just in time, mate.
You have to really get
Hour
hands
late.
and knees job to look closely, and they're not easy to see unless you know what you're looking for.
We've just come in the formation, and disappointing immediately to find physical evidence of mechanical damage.
Oh, Moody, don't worry. We're here to have a laugh, mate. We're here to have a laugh.
And there's board marks all over the place, which is a total disappointment in view of our high hopes of moments ago. And down here, just as an area in one of the spiral paths near the centre, and you can see board mark, board mark, board mark, there and there and there.
You can miss them, as we have done in the past, I guess.
Yes.
So the leading edge of the board, as it strikes the stem, it's causing an injury to the stems and causes lines of creases. So if it's like a 3-foot board, you'll find rows of stems more or less lined up.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because the genuine ones were actually what we were saying about the nods obviously exploding, and I think it was that said that Paul, scientific data has been done on that to find that there is some background radiation. Now you will get surface radiation that will pick up, but in the genuine crop circles you can see the magnetic field and even the radiation, background radiation, is quite high, and as documented in various examples. I can't remember the society. We'll get to this first, but it's going to be a bit more time to actually watch this. All right. 1 or 2. There we go.
And when you turn the stem over, that doesn't occur on the opposite side.
Well, if we walk into this small circle and come over here, I have a feeling that I found the board marks fairly easily this time. Oops,
look how flat it is. Do you know what I mean?
If we come down here, we can see that we have a board mark, and if we come over here we have another. So we have 2 of them fairly close together.
Okay, as you can see here, one there and one there. That's it. So when I go to my crop circle, hunt, my road tour on Sunday, if the weather's good, weather permitted, and if I think, like Mark G says, you do need permission to go into the fields. If I see people there at crop circle, I'll obviously ask them, because it's been a while since I've been in a crop circle. Only been in there once, and it's probably mostly like a fake one, basically. Let's get back to the chat because someone put something quite interesting. Yes, that one. I remember when that first aired on Edge Media TV. Yes, the Lionheart's King Arthur tomb, Alan Wilson, and those 2. I think they're dead, aren't they? I think they both died. Sensei, can you confirm? Because those names ring a bell. Yeah, I think that's the ones that he did. Yeah, the King Arthur one. Yeah, immensely fascinating. Yeah, guys, honestly, Richard Duhall has done some amazing work, honestly. But anyway, back to crop circles.
Which is how they should be. a row of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
My finger, there's a typical crease there, and I'm bending it slightly, and then you come back towards the camera a little bit, and now we've peeled off the outer sheathing of the, and you can feel that with your fingernail. And then if you come back even further to where the tip of the dowsing rod's pointing, there's another one. It's again not too deep. You also can see a bend it there. You can see how the crease bends back, like you do with your finger.
Yep.
So on the other side it will be okay. You turn it, screws it round, and there's no mark on that side.
Oh really? I'll bring cash then.
Back, the edge of the board, the leading edge of the board, the plank has hit the crop there as it's gone down.
You can easily tell.
We have 3
easily tell
on this stem here, but I've come across here a little bit further. We just rub the bloom off a little bit. I mean, just look at those. We've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When the crop is green, when the board impacts the crop, the mark isn't immediately apparent. It takes about 12 hours or so for the chemical reaction in the plant to create a white line on the stem.
So we thought we ought to prove this ourselves. Having knocked it down, we'd go in to check to see how long and see if any of the marks appeared.
I think,
which they did. They took nearly 20.
I think Richard Z. Hall might have done an update on it. I'm not too sure.
Hours, I think.
Possibly, but it depends on the maturity of the crop.
Yeah.
If it's early in the season and there's plenty of sap going up through the green stems, then they're as easy as pie to spot.
Okay.
But later in the season, as the moisture comes out of the stems and they start to go that straw colour, then they're very difficult, and you simply have to get down on your hands and knees and check.
Okay, and how many years have you gone back actually recording these board marks then?
Since 2000, 2001.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So of the formations that you've actually examined, down on your hands and knees, shall we say?
Sorry.
How many do you find are man-made, and how many are
on your hands
in the
and knees
unexplained category?
Well, currently, in the last year or two, I would think.
I haven't found
less than 5%. I would think are genuine in our opinion, which I know is
much less.
Much less than 5%.
In fact,
not news that people would want to hear. But
in my opinion, I've not personally seen a genuine one since May 2005, which was an oilseed rape formation at Golden Ball Hill.
I doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised if people grew it in tunnels, but our climate, Mark G, is extremely crap. Now, cannabis or weed, it grows like a weed, basically. I don't know, but there's certain ways how you can grow it through hydroponics. I have no idea for the people that are listening. Yeah, I mean, I've been to so many places, what they call nurseries, okay? These are not bloody children's nurseries. These are garden nurseries. And they have these huge, polytunnels. I remember I worked one of them in a beautiful place called, bloody hell. It's like a beautiful little village somewhere. And I was in the middle of this field, and it always had all these polytunnels. And you look around, you go, do you know what? You could easily grow weed here. But there's a reason why they don't get caught, I'd imagine. But it's all climate controlled, isn't it, in that sort of area? Yeah, hands on knees. you say, go on, yeah. Go on. Right, let's just go through a little bit left of this, and then we've got to skip ahead, because there is a farmer that actually saw a crop circle actually being made without any balls of light. Interesting.
In May 2005. Fortunately, our friend Bill Betts took some wonderful photographs of that formation on the morning.
Oh, you live in Illinois?
Discovered.
Is that right, Illinois?
And, it's absolutely wonderful. The pristine, the flower heads, which are one of the first things to get damaged when you try to stomp oilseed rape, are perfect. They're undamaged. They're evenly spread throughout the laid crop, just as they are in the standing crop. That simply is impossible to recreate with a stomping.
I hear you. I hear you, Mark.
I'm certain that small formation was genuine.
Okay, right. What about the Ogbourne St. George formation? Because that's another one that you believe that is a non-man-made.
Absolutely. Certainly genuine formation. I mean, the main thing about that was the way the crop had been laid. It wasn't flat to the ground. It was laid like the grooves of a record, wasn't it, Dave? So the top bit of lay was probably only a few inches below the general level of the crop in the field.
Hello,
to illustrate what Robert means
nice to
by
see
the
you.
grooves of a record,
Welcome on in.
we can zoom into the circle in question.
It's been a
the
while.
arrow here shows where the
Hope you're
photograph
well.
to the right was taken. From ground level, we can see the disturbance has occurred just a few inches from the top of the crop.
Yeah, Mark G, we will get to a book that I would strongly recommend, and I think there's some decoding, especially that alien-headed one, which we'll get to in a minute. 2 seconds. Let's just finish off this segment.
But this has a significant visual effect when viewed from above. Ask yourself, what could create this kind of effect?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Certainly not a plank of wood.
Yeah, I would agree. Not definitely.
And the next band, slightly higher, then lower again, then higher, then lower, then higher. And so it goes on right across this circle.
Yes, I thought so.
The effect is so delicate.
The same year, yeah. Thanks for confirming, Sensei.
Pieces of evidence that might show what you refer to as a genuine crop circle.
Well, we have what are called blown nodes. Now, what happens, we believe, is that in the genuine formation...
what crop plants are the designs normally in? Do you know what? Mark G, you said you live in Illinois. What would be... It would just be... it won't be corn. What would they normally grow? It would be for, like, I would imagine, like, hay. Or something like that. I don't know, honestly. Something straw-like. I don't know. I have no idea. Chat. Anyone in chat? Can anyone tell? Help me and Green Sea out. What's... wheat. That's it. It's wheat. Okay, wheat, maize, barley. Okay, yeah, that's all farmers talk there. Yeah, wheat or barley. Okay, that's me being a retard. It's a wheat field. A wheat field. Okay. Like I said, I learn every day. God. I can never say that word properly without sounding like really awful. Anyway, let's continue.
Heat from some...
let's just go back a bit.
Is brought to formations are called blown nodes. Now, what happens, we believe, is that in the genuine formations, heat from some energy is brought to bear on the crop, which heats the moisture in the stems. Now, as there's more moisture in the nodal joint of the stem, it acts like a pressure cooker. And eventually it will turn to steam inside the node, and it has to go somewhere, so it will explode a hole through the side of the nodal joint.
I mean, the node provides the structural strength to hold the stem vertical to take the weight of the developing seed head to stop it toppling over. So that's the strongest part of the stem is the nose. That's why the space 5 or 6 up from the root. So that's softened.
Oh God!
So partly bended it and produced the blown node as well because of the pressure. It's in like a pressure cooker.
Quite simply, if you went to bend a stem of wheat, it would bend on the stem between the nodes.
Yes, a straight portion.
It certainly wouldn't bend at the node.
And I took some specimens to a botanist at Manchester University, a fellow called Dr. Roland Enos, and he had a program going, funded by industry, the farming industry, or the Ministry of Ag, as it was, to test. And they were looking at lodging, which is a term used when the weather knocks crop down, which caused a lot of wastage to the farmer. And he couldn't understand how on earth they could be bent at the node other than phototropism, as Robert just mentioned, as a natural force going to the light, horizontal and down.
So you think it's two different effects. One is that it's something is heating the water up inside the node
to soften the plant. Yes.
And then another effect, which is mechanical or results in a mechanical effect of forcing the crop down in a particular direction.
Exactly.
Another researcher who,
like, if you looked at some of the crop circles, you could see some of them. Obviously, the one that's been using the plank are very, very flat, and the ones that are genuine, you can see there were some of them laid, like I said, laid down gently, and obviously you have the nods obviously exploding, obviously because of the heat. It's something to do with the protein inside as well, and the water. The boards don't do that. Okay, you know, so there's completely two different scenarios here, and you see these guys went out, whether or not they're gay or not. You can see one was fake and the other one was actually real. Obviously, the one with the indication with the board marks on it was obviously the man-made one. Yeah, interesting stuff. I would quite like, because I don't live too far from Avery and Wiltshire alone. I should really sort of take more trips there. It's got such a strange energy field. But Rebecca, I think you were talking about something earlier about a machine, and I think it's this.
Like on a roundabout.
Okay.
I produced this model to demonstrate to audiences the principles involved. This little arm here, with the brush on the end, in fact is free only to move radially outwards.
Dude.
And it flips back to the middle.
Rory, I had the whole entire collection of Carry On films. Honestly, I grew up with that sort of stuff. I grew up with what we consider very like dark humor, yeah, so don't worry, I like that sense of humor. I do. I find it extremely entertaining. Trust me, it takes a lot to offend me, mate,
And then begins to move radially outwards again in a straight line. But as this is happening, the whole assembly is rotating steadily in one direction or the other. It could be clockwise or anti-clockwise. So that the path travelled by the brush is a spiral path, a curved path. Now I'm going to try to demonstrate how the circle is produced in this way.
Oh, it's nodes. Okay, not mods. Okay, but... What the hell is this machine? It's like a flipping wanking machine. What the hell is this thing?
Notice that the gaps are being filled in on each successive rotation.
That's right. A pendulum. That's it.
Until the entire circle is created. The actual shape of the spiral depends on the relative rate of outward sweep and rotation. This is a very short spiral, but sometimes they can go all the way around.
You thought it was moving at fixed velocity from the centre to the edge at this at a fixed rotational speed,
and then flipping back again.
And then once it got to the edge, it instantaneously would go to the centre and then start a second
swirl. A whole series of strips,
right,
all round and then going round again very rapidly to fill in the gaps.
Right. Okay, and you actually modelled that on a computer, didn't you?
I modelled that on a computer, and I also tried to demonstrate it with that little model of mine. It didn't matter what the actual speed is, it could produce any kind of spiral with that form. Because believe me, you can get spirals of other forms, and I did try this with other equations. Colin Andrews sent these drawings to me, probably because he felt they would defy all my efforts to explain them in simple terms. After about 2 months of frustration with this problem, the answer came to me very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's a wanking machine. Honestly, oh dear. Oh, there's a clip I want to play. What's his name? Brian Blessed. He says something about a wanking machine. It's just the way he says it. Oh, it's brilliant. But yeah, I thought I thought that's what it was. So yeah, Rebecca, that's what I believe you were talking about. Yeah, let's just move forward from the swanking machine and let's move on to the farmer who witnessed, there we go, a very old clip that I have seen before. Oh God, it's still got the wanking machine there. Right.
There was another case where there was no crop circle produced, but farmer witnessed 2 feet wide black tubes.
Yes, Mr. Ball. And he told us about this event that occurred the year before.
It was overcast, no sunshine, sort of a dull-ish sort of day. It's this field here. It was in winter barley at the time. It's this cornfield most of the time. And looking across diagonally, looking at the wood behind, it was to the left, about halfway along the wood line that you can probably see on the film. The first one, where I stood in the field nearby.
Nearby, he says. He sounds a bit like me, a bit of a farmer. That, my friend, is a southwest accent, and that is my accent. Don't take the piss, all right? I know we sound like a product of incest, but we do our best, okay?
Then, when that died away, the second one appeared near the tree, over near the woods, in the far distance. And suddenly, in front of me was a tube running up about 1,000 feet. Oh, well, I'm not a good judge, but I would say 1,000 feet plus, or coming down out of sight onto the ground. This was not very many yards away from me, but the important point about it that struck me with it was the circular motion of the ashes in the grit on the ground. It didn't appear to be being sucked up the tube. It was just rotating at high speed on the ground, about 2 feet wide, 2 feet 6 perhaps on the ground. And the tube was vertical and perpendicular, and it didn't grow at the top or anything. And that was unusual. That was one of the unusual things about it. And this went on for several minutes. And then this died away.
It died away, see?
And then another one appeared about 200 yards from me then.
200 yards from me, see? Proper accent, mate. Proper. Me and him were like brothers, even though I'm better looking.
In the other corner of the field. And this was a similar situation, again, lasting about the same time. I've worked these fields for 50 years, and I've never seen anything like it before. Nothing at all like it. This is a diary of 1990.
Yes, I do, Green Tea.
Yeah, we'll show that in a minute. Describing in the field, and just to show you that the entry was made at the time as shown here.
And it occurred to me that he could have witnessed the kind of beam that I'm talking about. That this was the kind of energy that might be used for crop formation. But he was watching it. He was looking at it with the beam unfocused. But perhaps if it had been focused at the bottom like that, it might have actually pushed the crop down. You see, the same kind of energy.
Oh, God bless that guy.
2 feet 6 perhaps on the ground. And the tube was vertical. And
a tube was vertical? See what I mean, mate? Oh, bless him. But yeah, that is a farmer. Impressed. A farmer witnessing basically like a tube basically coming down from the sky and creating like the swirling effect, which could well be how crop circles are made, because no one really sees them, the real ones we're talking about here. I like me a cider. Oh yes, I am a cider drinker. I'm a Thatcher's Gold sort of guy, and I tell you what, any Americans, get your hand on something called Thatcher's Gold, but it's the blood orange. Fucking damn, it's so good, so sweet, and it will change your life. Crop circles may appear near your area if you drink this. Hornsbury. Is that a drink or cider, or is that a place? I like my cider. I do when I go out to the field and saw a pole. I did. Oh, bless him. Yeah, Thatcher's, mate. Oh, ciders, yeah. Horsbury. To be honest with you, I prefer Thatcher's, and there's something called, not that one, Rebecca. It's called Inchies. It's called Inchies, which is basically like, imagine orange juice but fizzy alcohol. It's amazing. I'm talking about cider here, but yeah, I do love a cider. Got to lay off it a little bit because it makes me extremely bloated. It's terrible. So yeah, that is a farmer talking about experience. So last but not least, what I'm going to do before we get into the 9/11 thingy majiggy, which yeah, believe it or not, is going to get quite crazy. Let's just go through one aspect. And this was called the Centre for Crop Circle Studies, otherwise known as the CCCS. And this was funded by the government, well, taxpayers' money, so to speak. And this was called Project Blackbird, and this was funded in the 80s. I'm just going to skip ahead here, and we're just going to go through this quickly. Helicopters, balls of light. Oh, let's have it now. We can show. And Green Tea, you did mention about the balls of light creating that crop circle. I do have that key ready. I don't think it's in this documentary. No, it's not. Okay, well, let's just do this then. Oh, yeah, this is obviously a radiation detector, obviously detecting radiation. And in this clip here, he's actually showing you that the fact that you do have background radiation. And it didn't really show you the radiation in a real crop circle. So you didn't really see that aspect, but it did show scientific papers to prove that the background radiation is a lot higher. So that's that on there. But I'm... Nor have I got the money for that all the time. Right, let's do this.
In the 1980s, at a time before complex man-made circles were being produced, an independent research group was set up called the CCCS, the Centre for Crop Circle Studies. Originally headed by scientist Professor Archie Roy, its goal was to find out the cause behind the crop circles. At its peak, the CCCS had over 1,000...
But you'd be surprised, our cider is extremely strong. Extremely strong. And it's very potent. It doesn't set well on your stomach.
...members, but during the 1990s, membership dwindled due to the disillusionment felt by members who found more and more man-made formations. It eventually ceased carrying out research in 2005
yes and no.
With no firm conclusions.
Some by pairs.
And what about government involvement in crop circles? According to Nick Pope, the Ministry of Defence's first involvement with crop circles was in 1985, when the army investigated a crop circle reported to them by a farmer. A few years later, in the late 1980s, the government organisation ADAS was given some crop circle samples by the CCCS. An analysis was carried out at a government lab in
Hey, Mark, how's it going, mate?
They were passed some samples from the CCCS of soil and stems to analyse. And they got virtually the same results as Dr. Bill Levengood did in America. Okay. And they put some reports out on the media.
But once the story got out that government was spending taxpayers' money on such research, questions were asked in Parliament in the summer of 1989.
Sort of challenging the Speaker in the House, why were ADAS wasting time and public money looking at silly crop circles, was the term used. And the two scientists from the Wolverhampton laboratories where they worked were shortly afterwards made redundant, sacked or whatever. And my belief is that was there were sort of scapegoats to stop other government agencies and laboratories getting involved with this seriously.
The following summer, in 1990, a 3-week project, Project Blackbird, was embarked upon by crop circle researchers Colin Andrews and Pat Delgado, BBC Television, Nippon Television and the Ministry of Defence, to try and solve the mystery once and for all.
Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister at the time, and in the early 90s when these pictograms started to appear,
Lady.
She asked questions apparently in her cabinet, what is going on? Yes. And she authorised the army to go into the fields. I think it was a 3-week exercise. This was all before my time, actually. But people like Colin Andrews was involved and Roy Dutton physically. And they set up an operation which was called Operation Blackbird.
Andrews appeared on TV each day as the results from their night vigils transpired. On day 2, a crop circle appeared, and Andrews gave a television interview showing great enthusiasm, only to be made to look foolish sometime later when it was revealed that it was a hoax.
Yeah.
Looking back on this project today, it seems likely that Colin Andrews was set up by certain people within the government as a deliberate attempt to show to the public that the phenomenon was not real.
Yeah.
Unbeknown to everyone, at the same time, the army were in fact carrying out a separate secret project 19 miles away at Silbury Hill. It seems Project Blackbird had 2 hidden agendas. Firstly, to debunk the world's leading crop circle researchers, and secondly, to divert media and public attention away from the secret Army Crop Circle surveillance project at Silbury Hill.
Hey, 12 feet tall, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you.
This event marks the last known government involvement with crop circles, or at least that has been admitted to. After this date, many believe that the issue was taken out of the hands of visible government, and investigation allowed to continue in the hands of British and American intelligence.
The government, the military know full well that this is a real and important phenomenon, and they weren't wasting their time. They were investigating something extremely important, and they're still doing it today.
Military helicopters and on some occasions AWACS aircraft are sometimes witnessed by crop circle onlookers, seemingly analysing the crop circle areas.
I mean, we've filmed Apache attack helicopters hovering low over the East Field in the Vale of Pewsey.
If a politician was to stand up in Parliament now and say, are we spending any government funds on this phenomena, you think the answer would be emphatically no, then?
They would deny it, I'm sure.
Deny it, but the helicopters are all over the place.
They're there all the time.
Some have witnessed these military helicopters chasing small glowing balls of light above the crop circles.
Without any...
I was going to say, okay, these balls of light, we're going to get to mine in a minute. This is a very common reoccurrence in this area. Look, these balls of light, regardless of what these are, if they're like spiritual entities or flipping interdimensional beings, there's definitely phenomena behind this. There is definitely something, and I know I'm like, oh god, a ball of light. Okay, I know it gets a bit boring because I've been seeing them like since I was a kid. You know, it's nothing really new. But I'm not ruling out that there's definitely a hidden meaning behind this. We don't know what these are and whether or not they're actually the cause for crop circles. I'm quite trusting in that farmer who could well be my grandfather or my father. I don't know. We sound the same. We both drink cider. We sound the same. I'm quite trusting him. But these balls of light, and I might be able to see hopefully one on Sunday when I go to Wiltshire myself. But yeah, keep your eyes to the skies, guys. Okay, we're going to clear this up and we're going to move on. All right.
No doubt the balls of light are a real phenomenon.
Okay.
Definitely. In fact, by the East Field, we have Golden Ball Hill, which has been called Golden Ball Hill for probably centuries. The reason being, golden balls of light have been seen there for so long. The military and our government have known about the real phenomenon for many, many years. Right. And there's probably a need to know basis going on here as well.
Okay. We'll come back.
Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do. So, Moody is saying it's dangerous to fly a helicopter over a close. Very hard to. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because I believe there's like something to do with turbulence, isn't it? Like there's some kind of like underflow. Is that right? If I remember, I know that helicopters can come close to certain like areas. Like for instance, like water is one of them. Like the oceans is like a certain height. That's right. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. It's all good. But yeah, no, I understand. I understand your point of view of what you're saying there. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's finish up with this. Yeah, the turbulence underflow gets disrupted. Yes, I have seen so many helicopter accidents, and that seems to be a very common thing. Is the turbulence underneath is like an underflow, and it just yeah. So I understand what you're saying there, brother.
Felt I had to get to the bottom of the complex man-made crop circles in order to fully understand what is going on.
Okay, now tell me about the Doug and Dave characters, because they are often cited as being responsible for a lot of crop circles. Prominent in the early 90s and late 1980s, am I right there, Dave?
1991 and 92.
So tell me about those two guys, because they were a lot of the circles at that time were put down to these two guys.
Yeah, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley.
Yes,
yeah.
They were roped in, forgive the pun,
right.
Well, I think by used, set up, encouraged, because I think in those days John Lundberg and his team weren't producing so many. It was in their early days.
Okay, so John Lundberg, he's responsible and admits to being responsible for some of the very complex formations, and he even has a website which promotes that. Circlemakers.org.
Absolutely, okay. and it's a good website to have a look at, because people can really see how these complicated formations are created. Because that's a problem people have. They see these wonderful aerial shots and they think, how can that possibly have been made by people with planks? Well, if you go on the site, he'll show you how they're made.
I mean, that was our initial reaction when you see these fantastic formations. It's this think, how can you do this in the dark?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It just seems to be quite impossible to do this with a board and string, unless you had multiple people. But then you would have to have. I don't understand, if this was man-made, how would you start to get this absolutely spot on and bang on right? I mean, everything it just seems to be very symmetrical. Yeah, it's amazing stuff, isn't it? No, I hasn't got to that stuff yet. In fact, talking about abduction and scary stuff, me and Hidden were talking about probably doing like human mutilation cases on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, good luck showing the photographs on that one. And because I know Richard D. Hall did a documentary on the abductions and stuff. I think stuff that NATO were doing. So yeah, possibly in the near future.
In a field in a few hours of darkness, and in the summertime you only get a certain amount of darkness.
But in our opinion, the whole
all right, mate.
Circle Makers website and Lundberg and co are all part of a disinformation campaign. Yeah. Originally, we feel possibly funded by government. Yeah. There was certainly a link on the Circle Makers website, which was a recruiting banner, which took you straight to a government recruitment for MI5.
Sure. For a start,
we do believe that the genuine crop circles are extremely important, and that government has known this for a long time. And that is why teams, well, that particular team, the Lundberg team, Team Satan, as it originally was called, I believe were inaugurated in order to throw sand in the eyes of researchers so that they wouldn't be able to see easily which were genuine and which weren't.
So let's just take a close look at John Lundberg, who is the alleged ringleader of the organisation creating the complex crop circles throughout the 1990s and up to the present day. After leaving school, Lundberg studied fine art at Middlesex University.
Footprints in the
then, in 1992, did a master's in sculpture at the Slade School of Fine Art in central London. At this time, literally next door to his art school was the anonymous headquarters of MI5. It housed the Director General and some of the most top secret and controversial of MI5's active service units.
Yeah, good point.
Lundberg's final year at university was spent studying next door to this secret office.
And that in the dark as well.
Well known that intelligence agencies often recruit agents in their final year of university. So when did Lundberg actually start making crop circles? On his own website, he claims he started in the early 90s, which presumably means after he finished...
All right, well, yeah, let's not delve in too much into this. Look, okay. I mean, he made some really good points there. Like, where do you find the centre of the field if it's done at night? Some of these crop circles are... Okay, we're done with Richard D. Hall. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the link in description right now so you can save it to your YouTube thingamajiggies, and then you can watch it later on. But yeah, immensely fascinating journalist who is Richard D. Hall, and I'll definitely go check him out because he's done a deep dive on a lot of stuff. I know he's been in like a court case to do with a thing I can't talk about. If you want to go a deep dive on that, but I remember Richard D. Hall when he first came out in 2008, and he was on Edge Media TV, and I found it. I actually found the first. I couldn't believe it. This is so well hidden. So I'm gonna bring it up because I have such a nostalgic time for this period. It's only like 2008. EMTV, the Chalmers interview with Richard D. Hall about UFOs and aliens. Oh my god.
Dispute.
Our program tonight is about UFOs and aliens. We'll be looking at what the human race really knows about them. If you think you've seen something in the sky that can't be explained, or that the world is being softened up for some startling revelations about aliens, then you'll definitely want to stay tuned. And here to talk about the subject is multi-talented UFO researcher Richard D. Hall. He's the author of Aliens Before Gentlemen, A Guide to the Future, also the editor of website richplanet.net, and producer and director of a new 6-part series coming soon to Edge Media TV, also called richplanet.net. So, what a show we've got tonight.
Oh.
Richard, welcome.
Hello, Theo. I'm delighted to be here.
Good.
Oh, man, this is just... Oh, this is like nostalgic for me, man. I mean, people just don't understand. This is Edge Media TV. Edge Media TV. This was on a public... It was on Sky Channel 200, and Richard D. Hall was there. It was talking about conspiracies, zeitgeist, 9/11 on a public TV access show. Oh man, I'm going to put that in chat as well. Edge Media TV, absolutely brilliant. Anybody was there in 2008 to between 2008 and 2013. This was the TV show to watch with Theo Chalmers. So yeah. Oh, did I spell that right? No, hold on. I got it wrong. There we go. Edge Media TV. Good old days. Right. Yeah, they did. Yeah, after... I don't know what. I think it was... he had a guy on called Nick Colistrom, and he was talking about the Holocaust, and there was some spicy stuff he was saying, and I think that's what got him... I think I had like a warning. This was like 2011, I think, and this is Richard D. Hall. But yeah, oh god, it's... Oh, I used to wake up in the morning, be like, right, what's on Edge Media TV? Oh, we got Zeitgeist, we got Loose Change on today. Oh, we got David Icke talking about reptilians. We got Theo Chalmers interviewing, like something to do with like conspiracies or Freemasons and stuff like that. Good time. And then you had YouTube with absolutely no restrictions. You could, it was a brilliant time. It was a golden years for conspiracy theory research. Yeah, Mark G, I'm not going. I've looked into it. I'm not going there. Right, so you've got the link in for that. So go check him out. Richard D. Hall, fantastic researcher, and yeah, go check him out. richplanet.net, I believe his website is. Okay, so let's go on to the 9/11 stuff quickly, which is 9/11 connection. Is that it? Okay, right. So Andrew Johnson from checktheevidence.com, who is Richard D. Hall's friend. Yeah, trust me, Alien. I know what YouTube doesn't like, and that is like a hot bloody topic, mate. But Andrew Johnson is still friends with Richard D. Hall. Call him a bit like butt buddies, really. There was one period where I think Andrew Johnson still goes for it. He can be very stubborn and narcissistic when it comes to anybody who believes what happened to 9/11 and the World Trade Center. It's very it'd be quite nasty if you don't believe on his side. But nevertheless, he has brought quite a number of great people like Dr. Judy Wood as well, promoting her work, and amongst other things as well, ufology. And yeah, this is called checktheevidence.com from his website. He does updates, mate, on his YouTube channel. I'll bring it up in a minute with Andrew Johnson. But there's one thing I didn't agree with or like is when there was a great man called Ian R. Crane. Does anybody know who Ian R. Crane is in chat? This was a pioneer in the conspiracy realm. And it was 2000... I think it was like 2020. Ian R. Crane, obviously he had cancer. And he was going into hospital. And he put out a post saying to his fans, saying, look, I'm going for this operation. I've got to have this anesthesia. There is a chance I might not make it out of this operation. It was a really, really quite serious one. And then Andrew Johnson he put this out on Facebook, saying, look, if I don't make it, please spread the word of my work and all that. He did make it, but Andrew Johnson came in and going, Ian R. Crane lied about 9/11, he lied about this, and became such a massive, I'm going to say this word, cunt. He was so horrible to a guy who's literally probably pouring his heart out into this message to say it like a final goodbye. And Andrew Johnson just comes in with a size 12, acting like... It's like, what was the point of that? Like literally. It's like there's a time and a place. That's what made me feel a bit, it's sometimes to be a bit of a dick, and I'm fine to admit that. But yeah, eventually, he did eventually die of cancer. I was devastated when he passed because I saw Ian R. Crane live when he came to Bristol back in the day. So, but anyway, Andrew Johnson, I still listen to his stuff and all that. But this is the connection towards 9/11 and the crop circles connection. And is this the right bloody video I got here? Hold on. I don't think it is. Rick Clay. UFOs. Okay, it must be.
Magnification of 10 to 40 micron diameter spherical magnetic particles of the type red upholstery and unburned plastic window moulding.
Okay, right. If Rotary in chat, he's probably going to help out with this one. Basically, with the World Trade Center, what people don't realize is that, I mean, if you have a look here, all these cars were burnt. But if you have a look, The police car is completely burnt, but look, the chair, the car seat, so to speak, material is actually still untouched. The rubber ring around the outside of the window hasn't been affected. There are many strange effects in New York that day that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So the theory goes that an advanced energy weapon was used to turn the World Trade Center into dust. Not only did it that, it also potentially affected the cars in a way that basically burnt them, melted them to a certain degree. And there's a classic example of a bus half melted. So that's the theory what Andrew Johnson is putting forward. Now, just listen to this because it gets a bit complicated, but we'll tie things all together.
Again, we've got evidence of heat and evidence of no heat simultaneously, which doesn't make sense. The other thing which I came across in the study of this evidence is the iron spheres found in the World Trade Center dust, and they were also found in Canadian crop circle samples. So is there a link here? Now, this photo micrograph, taken at 100 times magnification, of 10 to 40 micron diameter spherical magnetic particles of the type regularly found in crop circle soils. EDS reveals these spheres to be pure iron. The fact that they are magnetized reveals they were formed in a magnetic field. This is from W.C. Levengood from the BLT Research webpage. Now, we've got to just check on something here as to what happened at the World Trade Center and just dispel any notion that it burned down or was blown up and exploded.
YouTube, you're going to love me for this one, aren't you? I don't care. Alien Addict is officially my channel, so if it dies, I'm going down with it. God damn it. Now, for the love of God, look at that right photograph and tell me that is a building where the floors are going like that. Bum, 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 slamming down on top of one another. Let me just repeat that. So the right, and even that first one there, as you can see, photograph, is that floors falling on top of each other. No. One way I would describe, Dr. Judy would describe it, it's almost like peeling a banana. In other words, she would say, if you take... I've got one of those electrolyte tablets. You chuck it in water and it all fizzes up like a paracetamol tablet. It's a bit like that. It's just frothing up into dust. The whole thing is literally turning into dust. Yes, this is what you're seeing. This is what a lot of people like. If Jeremy Reese is in chat, my God, he's going to go off on one if I say this. But I totally believe with Dr. Judy Wood on this one that the fact that you know, even if thermite was used to dustify this building, you would have seen flashes of orange. It would have glown like the flipping sun, for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? There's so many evidence that the magnetic field was disrupted before the plane hit the building, and even during, and afterwards when the buildings fell. There's some really strange stuff. I mean, there was nothing left of the building, like literally nothing. It was like the amount of rubble that was left over was the height of the fucking lobby. The lobby was made out of flipping marble. The marble literally disintegrated. I mean, I'm sorry, like, a collapsing building don't do that. A collapsing building don't flip cars upside down on top of other cars and have their engines fused together. A collapsing building doesn't literally pierce holes through car engines. I've seen the videos. There's one video, I don't think anyone's seen it. There's a news reporter walking around and he's looking at these cars. They're all bloody twisted and melted. But the rubber seems to be fine, you know, hasn't been affected. All the glass have been melted. And there's literally holes going through a car engine. Has anyone actually seen a car engine? It's a fucking block of steel, for Christ's sake. And a collapsing building did that? I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm simply just not. I'm not buying it. And I've said this before. The controlled demolition conspiracy theory scenario that was brought very heavily on in the beginning, even like pre 9/11, like even like just afterwards, from 2001 since it happened to around about 2010, it was all about controlled demolition. And then I saw that police car. I'm going, why is that police car half melted and half fine, like with no scorch marks? It's like you just ask questions like that. And then Dr. Judy Wood came along, and then Richard D. Hall was the first person to interview Dr. Judy Wood and really popularized. Dr. Judy Wood was actually on TV. That's when I first saw her on Edge Media TV. It's just like, it's unthinkable now. It's just unthinkable. I was there with my parents. We're all smoking weed. Oh, amazing time. Good times. There was enough human DNA to check who they were. There was one report. Yeah, we'll get to the crop circles in a minute, but I love the subject. There was one report of a firefighter, and this is when the building was collapsing, and there was a group of firefighters that hid underneath the elevator stairwell, and they all survived. And I think this is in Dr. Judy Wood's book. And the statement was, once the firefighter was running, because they can hear the building, and the other thing, you're hearing it rumbling. If there was bombs in the building to actually disintegrate the building, that the bombs would have been clearly, obviously heard. It was just literally just a rumble. So the firefighters went under the stairwell, but one of the, I think it was the chief firefighter, saw that one of his chaps was behind him as they were running. They saw him as they got round to the side, they looked back, and apparently he's just like literally disintegrated. Something like that. Don't quote me. It was on the lines of that. Like, he literally just like turned into dust. Kind of reminds me of like Endgame. Could you remember like the Avengers Endgame? Even like Infinity War, when everyone like turns into dust. It's a bit like that. Okay, I shouldn't laugh, but it's just crazy. The concept it seems so crazy. Yeah, I'm really going off on one on this one. But 9/11, guys, there's so it's chemtrails, 9/11, and I'll chuck German flying saucers. Those are the three things I've been researching since. Well, actually, chemtrails and 9/11 are the ones that are really the first ones, because 9/11 that really woke me up personally. And that's going back, 2007. All thanks to my mum. Cheers, Mum, if you're in chat. Yeah, thanks. I probably would be here now if it wasn't for my mum, getting me into bloody conspiracies. Nick, come here. Look at the plane that hit the Pentagon. It says, doesn't look like a plane hit it at all. Yeah, it says, right. It's like, where's the wings? The plane's not big enough. Oh my God, I think they lied to us. What else can we find out? Oh, the World Trade Center. Bombs. Bloody hell. Oh, flipping hell. Thousands of dust people over. Yeah, I've seen. They found like bones the size of toenail clippings on the rooftops of other buildings in Manhattan. I mean, it's just, I shouldn't laugh. It's just like the concept alone is just, you can see like literally the building turn into dust there in the picture. Right, I'm going to go quickly through chat one more time. Oh God, you guys are really going for it. Hey, good night. How's it going, man? What do you think? Trump never mentions 9/11. Yeah, do you know what? You're right on that one. Hold on. I thought that one of the part of the task force was to find out COVID, 9/11, and amongst other things. It ain't gonna happen. Put it that way. Yeah, I know. This is it. Good night. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of with you on that. Are they still finding it to this day? Hey, UFO researcher, thanks for telling me I spelt there instead of there, but you corrected me. But as soon as you corrected me, my missus came in and says, "You're a fucking idiot. You spelt the word there wrong." I'm like, did I? Are you sure about that? Not E-R-E, it's the I-R. Yeah, I'm just a bit retarded. But yeah, thanks for being here, brother. But yeah, it goes to show the power and the magnitude and the force that the building went from being something solid into dust. Okay, that the whole concept seems completely far-fetched to think an energy weapon can actually do that without even affecting the people. It's the same with Oh, you got to look into the Hutchison effect, because it's pretty much mimicking what the World Trade Center is doing. It only affects like certain metals. You put plastic near it, it wouldn't affect it. And there's a very clear example. Excuse me. Is that the cars were affected, but the trees weren't affected, or the flag wasn't affected. Do you know what I mean? It's like it only affected like certain material. Very strange stuff, but I would definitely recommend checking out Dr. Judy Wood. Yeah, like the Epstein files. Oh. I know it's early in administration, but if you can't get the Epstein files, Diddy, I know Diddy's in court case at the moment. 9/11, COVID, JFK. I mean, yeah, we've got 80,000 documents, but still, are we necessarily going to get the truth out of that? If you can't get the truth about JFK, how are you supposed to get the truth about 9/11? If you fucking extraterrestrials, aliens visiting this planet, do you know what I mean? Do you hear explosions? No, you don't. Oh, you do, like during, but not during. You know, you think to turn the building. If we go by the concept that this building turned into dust by explosions, the noise it would have made throughout Manhattan, every single video footage of the collapse of the World Trade Center would have shown that, and it don't. It's just a massive rumbling sound. You can just hear it. I'll talk about 9/11 now. I got to wait until September the 11th, God damn it, until I do this 9/11 show. If you look at the weights, velocities involved, it was like a giant blender as it collapsed. Yes, the force would have been almost uncalculatable. In terms of the seismic impact that has been detected, Rotary, you would know this, mate. The fact that the seismic data. So as the buildings collapsing, they found it's almost like how they monitor earthquakes. You know, with the little line that goes around a piece of paper to show you like how bad the earthquake is. And they did the same with the World Trade Center, and they found out it was practically noiseless. They actually took down a dome stadium in America, and that gave off more of a seismic, not seismic. Basically, it gave more of a background surface ground vibration than the World Trade Center did, and that's backed up by data. With that, have you seen the demon face that comes out of the dust in one of the buildings? Yeah, do you know what, John Scott? Once we get to the paranormal photographs, God, we're 2 hours and 5 minutes in. Pareidolia plays a big part in that. Okay, it's like the penis cloud I showed earlier. there's a big puff of steam, and it looked like cock and balls. Once you Saxon, you know what I'm talking about. You got that first. Oh my God, guys, you're going through it, man. Jesus. Our cruise missiles were on board holograms, generators, in my guess. I don't know with that one, man. I mean, they got kinetic weapons that can actually blow things up. It was in a documentary called... I think it's the best 9/11 documentary. It's called 9/11 Alchemy. And this is the more Dr. Judy Wood direct energy weapon theory behind it. It's immensely great. I think it's on Easy Math Solutions YouTube channel, which is on there. It's called 9/11. Yeah, 9/11 Alchemy. Yeah, definitely, that's it. And it shows videos of kinetic weapons, and it shows like this brick wall, and it basically explodes with like nothing to it. And it had a tank as well. And they made like a massive hole in it, and it's just kinetic weapons. So they do have it. They don't need missiles and guns and stuff like that. They have energy weapons. Oh my God. Oh, sorry, but all Hutchins effects footage of his life is online. Yes, on Easy Math Solutions. A fair play to him. He has uploaded pretty much every single John Hutchins effects videos that he's done. I don't know if, to be honest with you, mate, look, if you want to dress up like a woman, and that's your thing, you do you. It doesn't affect me at all, but it might not help your credibility in some people, if you want to be taken seriously. But again, if it makes you happy, you do you. It don't affect me at all. If you want to wear a skirt and tights, and call yourself Susie, more power to you. But if you want to see the old school John Hutchison, yeah, go to Easy Math Solutions. I'm trying to be nice there, guys. Richard D. Hoare did a brilliant piece disproving the no plane theory. Something flew over, but the speeds make it impossible to be the planes. He did a test analysis of all the planes and trying to find the trajectories. But what Rotary put here, I think it was in somewhere, that the where is it to? Yes, disappearing wings on impact. And that is shown on multiple, and I mean multiple videos. Literally, I think it's like the right wing disappears before the plane hits the building. Now, there was another video that came out of the second plane hitting the World Trade Center. It was from a guy who was on a boat. And he sees the plane come in, and I'm joking, the whole plane disappears before it hits the building. And it's nothing to do with the sunlight. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. It's so crazy. I mean, the concept alone is mind-boggling for some people, you know. It's like I was saying to Lee, like Lee was saying to me on the Daily Conspiracy podcast, it's like you try to tell people that's taking the COVID vaccination, you got nanobots, you know, little robots inside you manipulating your DNA. It's for them, it's just they cannot comprehend it. Let alone a flipping direct energy weapon destroying the building. Do you know what I mean? Guys, you're going through absolutely crazy on chat. This was supposed to be a flipping not a 9/11 episode. But you can see we're all getting into it. So this is a lead up to I really want to do an episode. It might have to be a rumble. I really want to talk about Dr. Judy Wood's work about 9/11, but I don't know, would YouTube allow that? They would allow it, but it'd just be restricted or be taken down. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm going to skip a little bit in chat. I'm really sorry. I just want to get this out of the way. It's just to show you the scenario between the World Trade Center and crop circles. All right. I do apologize. I will get to chat, guys, but I appreciate all your enthusiasms, honestly, because you're really going for it. It's awesome. Loving it. Loving the energy here.
Explosives. It did neither of those things. It actually turned to dust. In other words, some process was started which turned the towers to dust, and the seismic signature showed, for example, that the buildings didn't really hit the ground in any solid form, not in a way that created a significant or sizable enough seismic signature. And one particular view, which I've mentioned many times, is this spire. Now, some people try to say this is thermite. This is nonsense. Thermite doesn't cause this to happen. This is 70 columns of unsupported steel turning to dust.
Yeah, most likely.
Steve Jones and a few other people published this paper about World Trade Center dust. I believe this was published in 2007. And they
I'll see if I can find them, Ray.
Iron-rich microspheres were found in the WTC dust. And they said that iron-rich spheroid from the USGS particle atlas of the World Trade Center dust, that's what was in this paper. And this sphere is about 20 microns in diameter, which is comparable to the spheres in the crop circle soil samples found by W.C. Levengood. So is Steve Jones knowing what to cover up here? In other words, I think this is a signature of the technology which was used to destroy the World Trade Center, and in a somewhat different mode of operation is used...
Hey, we've got someone new here. Lags and Bandon. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day. I was going to say 12 feet tall. Yes, they were balls of light, like orbs that were seen around the World Trade Center during the planes activities and everything like that. But yeah, I would agree, Green Tea and Sheep Up. Yeah, I think that's more or less like a rumble show. Yeah, definitely on that one. I can't find it. Where's the video? Oh, there it is.
To create some of the crop circles. Some of the crop circle. So I am proposing that the spheres are a signature of the weapon or technology which is used to A. create an artificial gravity field in the case of crop circles, B. disrupt matter and cause it to disintegrate in the case of the World Trade Center. It seems to affect metals specifically. Perhaps the field interference is tuned so that it affects metal in the case of destroying the World Trade Center. There are also the other aspect of residual effects in crop circles and at the World Trade Center. And it seems that the energy, whatever it is, that's used to create these crop circles and destroy the World Trade Center does not dissipate immediately. With crop circles, we've seen 2003 formations are still visible in 2004 early crops in May. These photos are by Busty Taylor. Now, the residual effects of energy at the World Trade Center seem to have been shown not only in the World Trade Center site itself, but in the Bankers Trust building, because this building was repaired by July 2006, and then it was later dismantled, and is still being dismantled, I believe, to this day, as we speak now in 2010.
Hope not.
So why repair a building and dismantle it? Obviously there seems to be some residual effect. And also at the World Trade Center site itself, the entrance to the site and some areas of the site continue to be hosed down 7 years after the events.
Oh, that's good to know.
Finally,
all right, brilliant.
We have another thread of evidence which seems to have a common thread
Okay,
between
put the link. Okay,
9/11
cool.
and crop circles, and that is of levitation. Now this relates to an unusual crop circle event in 1989 which involved Colin Andrews at Cheesefoot Head when he was with Pat Delgado, who was levitated. The unusual events at White Crow occurred on the night of Saturday to Sunday the 17th of 18th of June 1989, when 6 people climbed up Cheesefoot Head Hill and sat in a crop circle at midnight. Standing at the southern position with Colin, I was controlled to reach out and sweep energy from the sound into Colin's body. I do not know why. Colin then left me and returned to the group at the top of the circle. I turned towards the sound, and my arms were being pulled over the crop with an even greater force, and my body felt it was being pulled upward and forward out of the circle at some perilous angle. With all the strength I could muster, I managed to withdraw my arms, gradually sink down, and turn around, so I was now facing north. I eventually laid down on my stomach and began to inch my way up to the centre of the sloping circle floor, grabbing at bunches of flattened barley stems and pushing with my knees and feet. My progress was slow because whatever the short distance I made forward, a force kept pulling me back half that distance. I was becoming totally exhausted, and at that moment I wondered what I was fighting against. There was nothing tangible, but I was under the control of some force or of incredible strength. I hung on as best I could. I called out to Colin to come and help me. I remember instructing him to come down the eastern edge of the circle in a crouching position, which he did until he was level with me. We inclined our way towards each other until we grabbed hands, and it was then that both of us began to be pulled back and downwards. Fighting against this...
On our hands and knees. Right, okay, let's go forward. Oh, his lordship himself, Nick Pope. What does he have to say about this?
Was that it was posted, or what was posted, in November or December 2002.
That was a bit pipe.
And this was a statement by Nick Pope. I had to refute the bizarre idea that the formations were caused by the testing of space-based laser or directed energy weapons, and dispel suggestions that the media coverage of the issue had been stifled by the use of denoticers. Why would Nick Pope be talking about directed energy weapons in November or December 2002? The other thing which has been seen here is levitation, and this also relates to what happened at the World Trade Center. Now, for those that want to study this, Dr. Wood has proposed, and I agree, that what was employed to destroy the World Trade Center was some technology which is similar to the Hutchison effect, which is what John Hutchison has used and demonstrated on many occasions in the last 20 years and more. Additional to this, we have the accounts of Michael Mako and Rennie Develer. Michael Mako said, I realised I couldn't get out from under the collapse. I dove under an ESU truck that was facing north on the west side of West Street. I dove under that and waited for the building to come down. When the building did come down, I actually thought I was trapped, and the truck was blown off me, pushed off me, I guess. It was not there. At that point, I was just really shocked and didn't know what was going on at that point. I didn't know. I was really, really shocked. So the truck appeared to be levitated from over him. Rennie Develer, while we're walking, I realise that we only have 2 people. I see my vehicle. The seats are covered. I still got my bag. I hold it like a trophy. Like people collect basketballs. I haven't touched whatever the force for it was. It was so strong that it went inside my bag. So he's talking of a force. So here's a summary. In comparing some of the evidence related to the destruction of the World Trade Center, we've seen some correspondence. Simultaneous effects which look like heat, but also a lack of heat or no heat, the effects on gravity and levitation, iron spheres in the dust and soil samples, ongoing effects at the site following the initial event.
Kind of, right? Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, it kind of sounds like how a crop circle could possibly be made by an external force. Not saying technology, well, I mean, I'm talking about extraterrestrial technology or something spiritual, so to speak. Because I think whatever's making these crop circles, if we just round things up, must have an intelligence behind it. If we're just ruling out the fact that these are done man-made, and yes, some of them are man-made, because it's just a given fact, you know, there has been, I mean, looking through reports, I'll show one of the books here, that, look, even those two gay guys showed you that, those two guys showing you that, look, there are fake man-made crop circles, but there was also genuine ones as well. But the ones that are actually genuine has shown these messages. I think it's quite important to actually take that in consideration, that the fact there might be a higher dimensional being involved into this. So I think most likely the crop circles just have a sort of intelligence behind it. But as the summary here, as we're talking about effects on gravity and levitation, one way you could say that's how they can like layer down the crops, because like I said, it's gently laid down. It simulates heat and also no heat. Obviously, people disintegrated in World Trade Center, but the cars were all melted, but there was no heat involved. It's a bit like the crops. You know, you had the nodes that exploded due to the heat and radiation, and it's something to do with the protein and the water inside the stems itself. So again, we have that, the ionized spheres and the dust and the soil samples. So the little spheres, the iron ball spheres, is the same thing that is seen in crop circles, and it's the same thing that was seen in the World Trade Center. They're all clumpered together, and I do believe it's in Dr. Judy Wood's book, and I should have put that up. It's only during this live stream I just realised it's probably in her book. So there is a correlation here, guys. Strangely enough, isn't it? You wouldn't have thought, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have thought like World Trade Center and crop circles would be connected. But in fact... Oh, thank you, Rotary. It says I'm correct. That's an old that's an old message. So yeah, it's extremely fascinating. The devil. That used to be the explanation years ago, back in like the 16th century. I think it was not the dust devil, something like the crop devil, something like that. So yeah, there we go. There we go, peeps. Why John Hutchison's videos look so staged, fake, and gay? Why his videos always zoomed in? His videos are very sus. Look, I mean, what are you talking about? Old videos or new videos? 12 feet tall, because there's a massive difference compared the two. Going to be honest, I gotta be honest here. I think some of the stuff could possibly be faked. There was one documentary by Vice. Oh, the old videos. Yeah, there was one video by Vice, and it had a young lady and this guy there. I think it might be on Easy Math Solutions YouTube channel. And John Hutchison was setting up this experiment and was going to show this levitation effect using this item basically planted in the middle of his levitation field thing. But it was behind like this black curtain, and as this object is levitating, you can see like the curtain move as well. It did look fake. It looked fake, and I haven't seen that footage in a long time. Some people say he didn't fake things. Some people say that he's proper genuine. And there are videos of him actually doing the experiments, and you can see things twisting, and you know, he has done this. He has done this. But I think maybe the internet sort of centralized a lot of the stories. That comes with a bloody territory with the internet. So I'm not denying John Hutchison, but the effects looks like the effects what's happened on the World Trade Center. Just saying, man. YouTube is like, right, what fact check should we do today then, Mr. What they call me, Nazi Nick on the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. Oh dear, I've seen one video with John Hutchison, Mr. Hutchison, whatever, where the visitors were filming. He was demonstrating an experiment, but you can see him pulling on a string when the object was moving. Might have been that one. I think it was on Vice. I think Vice did a... Was it Vice? I'm going to have a look now. Vice, John Hutchison. Let's have a look. I can't remember. Was it Vice? Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. But the one with the string, I think I remember seeing that one as well. So I'm a bit 50-50 with Mr. Hutchison. Or Mrs. Hutchison, what you want to call it. I think all his videos are fake. Yeah, it depends on what avenue you go down, mate. To be honest, it depends on what opinion you go through. I mean, some of the stuff does look fake. I have to admit, some of the stuff looks fake, and some of the stuff that don't. I mean, there's one of them he had like this. Oh, I can't remember. It was like this steel rod, and he managed to like put the frequencies to it, and he managed to like twist and melt and distort and everything. It's a bit like the main beams for the World Trade Center. Same sort of thing, really. So yeah, right. That's it. Okay, that's because my yeah, I think that's it. 420 too hard, I think. Let's have a little look. What else? Okay, do you want to see my UFO? Do you want to see my UFO? Okay. Let's bring this up. Now, don't laugh. Do not laugh at my incredible UFO footage. Right, I'll just check if this is the right one. Okay. You're gonna go. I'm fucking leaving this stream right now. How dare you subject me to this sort of stuff? Alright, okay. That's the close-up one. Alright, okay. There's no audio for this one because StreamYard's a bit funny with home videos. So the other night, me old dears, I was out at night. I was changing my camera that films the sky 24/7. So I changed it from a night mode, which brightens up the sky. And as I looked up, I saw this ball of light, glowing ball of light go through the clouds. It's not a flipping satellite. I couldn't take a video footage of it because I had no storage on my phone because I was downloading videos because it was to do with Aleister Crowley's show and I had so many videos downloaded. Definitely not porn. But anyway, I'm just going to play this now and you can see this ball of light. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's not a satellite. It didn't have any flashing lights on it. Okay. Yeah, I know, right, Rebecca? Yeah. So there's no flashing lights on this one. All right. It's like, great. Thank you so much for that, Meg. But hold on. I've got a close-up version of it. It's not going to make any difference. The people on Spotify are going... Well, let me just describe this on Spotify. Okay, so basically what it is, it's a complete dark sky and there's a ball of light just traveling really slowly across... It's at a steady pace, but it's definitely not a satellite, okay? It was going through the clouds. This is why the camera is all a bit... It couldn't really focus in properly because with the clouds and everything, and it was dark, and I didn't have the settings right on it. If I would have brightened up the contrast, it would have opened up this object a bit more. I wish I took it with my camera. Anyway, but yeah, that's my ball of light. Do you like it? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. But this is the strangest thing. The day after, this guy films this in the sky, and it's exactly what I saw. Watch this. Look. Can you hear the audio by any chance? Oh god, terrible. So yeah, this guy filmed this. Let's go play it one more time. Yeah, no audio. It's fucking weird. It's home, like this is on my PC as a video that I've taken from a screenshot, and StreamYard will not allow the audio. It's weird. I don't know why. It's nothing. You just hear the background. You can hear no people talking and nothing like that. So I thought that was a bit odd. A bit of a coincidence that the fact that this person has filmed the same thing that I saw, and then the day after that, wait a minute, this came up. So for the people in Spotify who's watching this, this is taken on the same day I saw that object. It wasn't dark, but the camera wasn't on the right setting for it. If I had my phone working, I would have had a real good close-up. But basically, it's a big ball of light. And it did sort of distort and contextualize a little bit. Almost like I was turning from what I was seeing anyway. It was definitely not a satellite. I know what a satellite is, and it definitely wasn't the ISS. And this is what the people are saying in this video here, saying no, it's way too low to be a satellite. These two guys are like, fucking hell, what the fuck is this thing? Yeah. And it's silent as well. It's silent. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of that. And there's a little tester. Yeah, why can I not do that then? Hold on guys, 2 seconds. To share audio, click tab instead. Why can I click tab? Okay, never mind. Well, anyway, I knew we can do that anyway. So yeah, that's what I filmed the other day. It's okay as a ball of light, but a lot of people have been spotting this around the world. No, sorry, around the southwest, I should say. I was looking up north to see where these balls of light have been attracting, and it has been my area of the southwest. So keep your eyes to the skies, and then you never know what you're going to find one day. You will find something, honestly. People, because you got to keep doing sky watching. You don't just do half an hour. If you want to dedicate your time to find something, you got to do it for the whole day. It's like ghost hunting. Once you go out ghost hunting, you need to keep doing it. You don't expect miracles first time you go to do an investigation. It don't work like that. Unless you have like that one experience that changes your perspective and alters your perspective. Like, oh shit, no, ghosts are real. Because I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Again, it's the same with sky watching. Right place, right time. So yeah. Have I got anything else? I do have a few more things. How long have I got? Oh, 2.5 hours. Right, okay. Let's just go through. My cat's been so gay today, honestly. Let's just grab my notes. But yeah, a 9/11 episode, guys. I will do a live stream on Rumble only for that one. Gay cat. What else have I got? What else? Tell you what, fuck it, let's bring up Twitter. Where's Twitter? Oh, there it is. There we go. What have we got on beautiful Twitter? What have I saved? Is this showing up? Okay, let's put this bigger. Right. Okay, so Mick West saying here, if Corbell sees a classified information that implies violations of 18 USC blah 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 blah, transmitting national defense information to an unauthorized person of section 1924, retaining classified material, confiscation of US government property is up to 10 years per count. This is what I mean with
former U.S. national security official Matthew.
Hold on. Where is Jeremy Corbell getting this information? Who's given him permission to talk about this? This is the other thing. I just don't get it. Because you need permission to release this information. Who is given this information? Who's given the permission for Jeremy Corbell to release? He's obviously holding on to footage. Seems like a flipping marketing campaign more than anything else, you know. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Former U.S. national security official Matthew Brown describes but does not provide several videos that he says were gathered by the program called Immaculate Constellation. Brown claims that one video in particular stood out to him. He says he saw video of a UFO that looked like a large disc flying over what appears to be an ocean. He says it looked playful, that it was flying between the clouds and appeared startled at one point, as if it knew it had been caught on video.
What do you mean it looks startled? What does that mean?
You know, it's just looking at an area over the ocean is what it appears. And this thing just comes trundling along from, like underneath the cloud cover, comes up. And then right when it's like almost center frame, it scoots off to the side and like tries to get out of, like it comes into us and going, oops, somebody spotted me. I can get out of here. Exactly. It was visibly, that's the feeling it had.
The footage that he described showing a disc that appeared playful with the clouds and then startled to be caught on camera. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that.
And is it as he describes?
It is. I've seen it a long time ago, way before I ever met Matthew, and that is a piece of footage that within the intelligence community, if they have access to the servers, is kind of famous at this point. Now, does that get out to the public? Remember, this is something where, as journalists, we can't solicit, but over the years, as I said, George Knapp and I have been exposed to a whole lot of footage, most of which we've never deemed able to put out for security reasons.
Okay. Rory, did you send me something? Oh, you did? Yeah, okay. Let's bookmark that. Okay, cool. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to anything this guy, what Jimmy Corbell was saying then. Yeah. So I was 420. Yeah, I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, I got that. Let's come out of that. For me, I just really want to stay positive about Jeremy Corbell, but I don't know. Is he a bastion of truth? Is he gonna give us truth with his documentaries and stuff like that? Hang on, what's going on there? Have I got a different one then? Hold on a minute. What is going on here? Oh, right. I'm an idiot. I was on Alien Addict's bookmark. Okay. There we go. That's more like it. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Here we go. I was so confused then. I was like, Where's rotary stuff? Okay, right, rotary. Here we are. I did add it as a bookmark for ye. And let's go through this. As the justification, okay, aspect, how basically what you're seeing here, as Rotary kindly sent this to me, is that the fact is you're just seeing a complete justification of the building. Everything you see in there is the whole content of what was in the World Trade Center. And for those who are those who are listening on Spotify, it's just you've seen the footage of the massive dust cloud that filled Manhattan when the buildings collapsed. And what we're seeing here is just fine dust just covering every single building, every single nook and cranny from head to toe. And it's the very clear example is that what you're seeing is the whole building. That's the whole building turned into dust. You know what I mean? And if that... And you just got to think, did that dust manage to literally... There's a car park here. I think that's the car park route you were talking about. And all those cars, where my cursor is, were actually melted and rusted, all because of a dust cloud. See? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But we will leave that until the 9/11 episode we'll do. Yes, we've got a bit of time until September comes along. But my God, isn't it going fast? It's definitely going fast. That's the towers. Yes. Crazy, isn't it? Then I went home on my bike, and before I went inside my home, I looked it up, and it was there again. You've been followed by balls of light, 12 foot tall. Have I missed something? Oh no, it is there. I was really saw very bright light hovering as big as my fist, and as I paid attention, it turned off like a light switch. Interesting. Do you know what? I see a lot of like balls of light on my time-lapse camera, like the night vision. If you I managed to put the setting where it lights the whole entire sky up. So it may be pitch dark, but I can see the stars, you can see the satellites going across, and you do see these balls of light, whether or not it's actually space debris and stuff like that, who knows. Right, what else we got on Twitter?
And there's a woman there that looked a bit perturbed, and I thought, are you okay? She says, well, I need to talk to someone about something that happened yesterday. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, yesterday I was taking my dog from my afternoon constitutional. That means a walk. My afternoon constitutional, and
sure.
There was a sort of tube that came out of the clouds. I went, what? Yeah, it came down on top of the wheat, and it rotated the wheat in 15 seconds, and then it rotated back up again. My dog was barking at it, and I was totally flummoxed by this. And I went there for a walk today, and there's a great big crop circle right there. Went, in 15 seconds, I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, okay, well, that's pretty consistent with what I've heard so far. And I pulled out I said, what time of the afternoon was this? About 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I pulled out the picture with a timestamp, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, that's towards Meat Cops right there. That's where you were walking. I said, that's exactly where I was walking. So I filmed what this woman actually saw in real life. You can't make this stuff up.
Look at that.
Wonderful moment for her, I believe. Here's what she actually saw.
Awesome.
I mean, absolutely beautiful.
That's crazy, isn't it? Look. Photograph. So if you're going by what the farmer said and what this lady says and what this gentleman here has taken a photo of. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, but I've been frying a bloody microphone then. Hello Spotify people, do apologise. But it made this amazing crop circle, which kind of looks like a biscuit, doesn't it? But what a coincidence. So one possibility, guys, that like Green Tea mentioned, that the orbs that we're seeing that create that crop circle, I think I showed the video. I've got it linked up here already, ready to go. I think it was actually known to be a fake. So we could say, go by the farmer and what this guy is saying, with the lady's testimony and this photograph that crop circles can be made by some sort of, I don't know, what would you call this? Some sort of spiraling vortex that comes from the sky. That's almost like a Victor Schauberger style tornado. That's the way I can look at it, really. It's quite fascinating, really, isn't it? What if I'll see one on Sunday? Hey, Benjamin. How's it going? Hey, Bob Lazar and Benjamin. How's it going, man? Beautiful bird, mate. Oh, you didn't air it, did you? Oh, Christ's sake, I do apologize. Oh, mate. That's I used to troll people in the sports model. I bet you did. Now bring it over here because I want to get some Thatcher's Gold. I can drink some cider. I can't be bothered taking a bloody van to Tesco's. Good to see you, Bob Lazar. Hope you're doing well, brother. Wish I could type better as I could express myself. Mate, fucking, you try doing a live stream by yourself. It's difficult. It's more difficult than typing. It's like me reading. It's awful. That's crazy. 12 feet tall, all being out, all stars and stars in the sky. Yeah, there's been a lot of activity going on. I've never personally been followed by an orb, but if I do, I definitely ended up filming it. I mostly see like the black shadow in our hallway on most days. You know what I mean? I took my older brother about it. I told my brother about it, but he didn't believe me. Yeah, mate, you're gonna get people like that. Just knock on the head. You got people like me that believe you, and people in chat that believe you. That more that counts, you know. Unfortunately, even though if you did have tangible evidence, even like a good ghost photograph, people still won't believe it. You know what I mean? Thank you. I do my best. Oh God damn it! Oh bloody hell! Let's have a little look. What else we got now? Yes, good point actually, Green Tea. An alien laser pointer. That's a very good point. Yeah, that's awesome. Hologram theory says nothing is real. Well, I'm touching the table at the moment. That feels real to me. Even though we are living in some sort of simulation. I'm not going to go there. That makes me feel paranoid thinking about that sort of stuff. Right, let's move on from that. But I thought that was quite interesting. I really thought that was quite interesting to see that photograph right here could be what we're seeing of how a real crop circle was made. What it says here, 80 people have witnessed crop circles manifesting in less than 15 seconds. Amazing. Many describe a descending tube of light that rotates and bends the plants without causing any damage. I hope Sunday, if it's a clear day, and I go finding these crop circles, obviously with permission from the farmers, of course, hopefully I can capture these tubes. Stand right in it. I'm a 420. That's me. Oh my God, should I? Right, come on. Should we have a bit of a laugh? Go on then. Let's have a bit of a laugh. Oh dear.
You're either on the side of the law or you're not. The only way you're going to get to it is somebody at that executive level that says enough is enough. Cut the money off, bring these people in, let's go.
This is not to be talked about any further. And if you do, something can happen.
All we need is one to be accurate. And this whole concept of UFO crash retrieval non-existing completely falls apart.
Everybody wants to be in there. Can give any kind of sneak peek of what that's like.
That organization has had the ability since the 60s to hit a button and simulate an alien attack on the planet using...
Wait, hold on a minute. Wait, what did he say? Hold on, let's go back.
Using these technologies. Syria, an attack on the planet and simulate the ability since the 60s.
That's like...
That organization has had the ability since the 60s to hit a button and simulate an alien attack on the planet.
Oh God, really? Really? Are you sure? I think you might be right, Green Tea. I think you might be a bloody alien. Oh my god! Just, I love the production. Just listen to the Disney style Marvel-esque music being played here.
Using these technologies, serious questions tonight amid a growing number of drone sightings.
How do you set up a believable false flag and operations that looks like it's alien when it isn't?
Oh, the AI is brilliant.
So when it happens, they're not shocked, they're not stunned. They can say, oh, we knew this was going to happen. Which is potentially the most dangerous, where they're talking about, quote unquote, catastrophic disclosure.
Do you know what? The word disclosure is so redundant now. Catastrophic disclosure is so redundant. It's so retarded. I'm sorry. I can't believe anything Stephen Greer says about anything about ufology. He's been saying it for fucking over 20 years, and nothing's new's come out from this stuff.
They put it into secrecy, they deny, and then they shut the people up.
Doing that for the past 80 years, mate.
And the president doesn't know about. That is an existential threat to humanity.
It shows an alien bending over and farting in the screen. So yeah, this is a third phase of Moon production. What's it called? Don't even ask me to say that first word. All I know in this word here is disclosure, official trailer. As I'm not. Good thing I'm not live on Twitter. Flipping now. So yeah, this is the crop circle that showed up in Wiltshire not long ago. Let's just go through chat. I know, it's terrifying, that trailer, isn't it? Ooh. Greer, the man with the tightest blue jeans in ufology. Yes, I don't look that far down, mate. His chest is frightening enough as it is. Greer is the final boss. Yeah, it kind of feels like it, doesn't it? Looks like it as well. I'm queer for Greer. Oh, that is a term I haven't heard in a while. Queer for Greer. Greer sneaking in the rear. Oh, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Third phase. Look. I'm friends with Third Phase of Moon. They said hello. You need to understand, guys, with Corbell's cats. If I didn't say hello to you earlier, I do apologise. But how's it going, man? How's it going? Dr. Faking Gay. Look, third phase of Moon. Look, ufology is a number of things. Is business and is entertainment, primarily entertainment. You're going to have people put out fake stuff, okay? But they put good stuff out. I watched Third Phase of Moon, so look, I don't want to create drama on Alien Addict. You know, I like Third Phase of Moon. I've got nothing against them at all. I think that me and Hidden would like to get them on Hidden Underbelly show. In fact, Hidden sent me a message. He goes, "Oh, just to let you know, I know you're going live soon, but I've contacted Nick Pope." I was just like, "Lol." Like, he'll probably respond, but he ain't going to come on the show. He's gonna see us two stoners and go like, "Yeah, that's probably my forte." I was like, "The guy don't 420. The guy don't 420." Yeah, I could see you, Corbell Cat. I hope you're doing well, brother. But ufology is basically entertainment, and it's a business, an industry, so to speak. So I don't want to create drama. You got your own opinions, guys, in chat. So, but yeah, I'm on the safe side with Third Phase. Okay, let's move on. With that, we've got also the crop circle there. One thing, if you ever see, it leads into the path, straight into the field. Why not do it in the middle of the field? Do you know what I mean? Just saying. Just saying. And it's quite a basic design. A very basic design. So maybe, just maybe, I was going to investigate this crop circle if it's fake and gay. I should. I know it's still people's property, isn't it? When you look at it. Okay, let's look at this. Another crop circle has appeared. Coincidence? Not really. No, it's been happening for decades, love. Music! So guys, from your observation and the people on Spotify, just imagine a crop circle. Is this fake and gay? I don't know. Alright, that's enough of that bollocks. Alright, let's go on that. Okay, so yeah, this crop circle has shown up. Nothing new, guys. Crop circles show up every single year. Oh god, I'm struggling here, guys. What else we got? What else we got? Oh yeah, I thought this was quite interesting. Look at this. Look, a ball of light just floats down. It's like an orb, isn't it? Look at that. And that cray-cray. Never say that again. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's not a bug. I tell you what, the guy who filmed it did a pretty good job. Pretty good job. Bloody retard. Look how fast it's going. Look at that. It's like, wee. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I would say that, to be honest with you. There's many different theories going behind it, but I'm quite going down the tube avenue, in my opinion. Frey gay. Gay. Yeah, oh mate, do you know what, I was thinking the same thing, kind of look at it. It's weird though, I have to admit, Green Tea, it's pretty weird. Yeah, I don't know, pollen, that's a pretty big, like, plant seed pollen, do you know what I mean? Praise the dot. Yeah. Yeah, I just find it interesting, I thought that was really, really good. It's pretty good. Yeah, could be. This is it. I'm not denying the summoning, even like C5 and going through a meditation process to actually bring these entities into our realm of reality. I'm not denying that. And to be honest with you, I've been saying this for like flipping ages. Balls of light, orbs, in one way, yes, we see them in the sky, but we also see them down on the ground on our surface level through paranormal. So I've been saying that the extraterrestrial route, which I believe are also interdimensional beings, is the same connection with the paranormal, with ghosts. I think there's something linked there, because it's not just a coincidence we're seeing balls of light in the sky and balls of light on photographs of orbs. Do you know what I mean? Even video footage of that. There's a correlation between the two, and we just can't deny that. It's balls of light, you know. So it's just a wacky theory. Again, I have been 420, so you know, what do you expect? That is too close to the camera. Yeah, I mean, but bear in mind it is. If we just go out a little bit, let's have a look. Where he's taken it. He's taken it from at least some sort of distance away. So he's definitely seen it. And it does pick up speed. It's incredible, isn't it? Amazing. Right. Let's go back to chat. Oh, cheers, man. Cheers. I just had a brain fart then. I was like, I'm just looking through my notes and the chat at the same time. But it is moving like it looks like. This is it. It has like some sort of intelligence behind it. It does like it's definitely moving in a manner that I don't think pollen normally, if you look at it, kind of like floats a little bit. I know that as being a gardener, so depends on the stabilization of the weather and if the wind was about. Depends on that. So what else we got? What else we got, mate? Oh yeah, apparently Lou Elizondo, he issued a statement saying that he couldn't attend the top secret UFO briefing in Congress on Thursday because he had to headline a $43 ticket UFO festival in Oregon on Saturday. So yeah, at least Lou's getting his priorities right, getting that bloody money in, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is something quite interesting.
Comes out this copper. And this copper goes down into the bottom of that planet, goes west, comes out, goes underground, goes into this one, underground, it goes through all of them. Then you bring it over here, and it's hooked up to the bottom of this aluminum pole, and they got a big zinc bolt in it, so it causes an electromagnetic field. You go around, and there's no bugs here, no bugs. That all grew in 5 days, everything doubled in size. That one from here to there. This is spilling over. That grew about 1.5 feet in 5 days.
So there we go. Electroculture. Guys, have you ever heard about it? Electroculture? For those who don't know, I have not uploaded this to YouTube. And this is my video. It's going to play a fucking ad.
When I started drinking warm water to help me lose weight, my friends laughed at me. But when they saw how fast...
Right, well, first things first, love. If you want to lose weight, just stop eating shit and just go for a flip and run. I don't really know. This is a video that I made a couple of years ago. I started to use electroculture in my garden, and I'm going to be honest with you, in terms of bugs, I haven't really had any. It's been pretty good. Watch this. So, does electroculture actually work? What I have here are 2 pots. One has a pumpkin, and the other one is a tomato plant. And you can see both got electrocultures applied to it. Now, what I've done here, I've got the typical bamboo stick, and I've wrapped around the coil. Well, it's the pure copper wire, and this is pure copper wire. There's no other metals into it. It's a tomato plant. I've wrapped it all the way around. Looks like a cannabis plant. A little antenna. Now, I haven't really seen any different type of. Oh, I have seen different type of methods to be used. Some of them put the coils more closer together, but I've just stuck with this path because I want to make it high as possible so we can get. Well, I don't really know. Say the maximum amount of ether, I would say, or electromagnetism into the soil. So here we have you're wet. Pumpkin and a tomato. Both have electroculture into it. So let's show you the exact same plant, exact same soil, with no electroculture. As you can see here, it's the same pumpkin. I planted it on the same day, the same soil, the same consistency, absolutely everything. Feeding the same thing, so it's having the same benefit as that one here. So no electroculture. See, it's just about to pick up compared to the one that does have electroculture. So as you can see, there is a big difference. Now, I understand plants are struggling at the moment because the temperatures are not efficient enough. I mean, we're coming into the summer solstice within the next week, and the temperatures are not efficient enough. It should be 20 degrees, beautiful weather, and it's barely reaching 15. So the plants are not really growing as well. So that has to be taken into consideration as well. But I've got also a tomato plant as well. But let's go back to the pumpkin. No electroculture. Electroculture, you can see it's starting to flop down like a vine. So yeah, Exhibit A, Exhibit B. Okay, let's look at the tomato plant. Again, We have the electroculture in there. Actually, looking at it, it's actually bushed out quite well. It's actually thickened out, which is quite good for a tomato plant. So, electroculture, let's move along to the same tomato plant that was planted on the same day, same consistency of soil. And look at it. It's not the same. So we've got two plants that are having the same results. In fact, 4 plants if you look at it. So, as you can see here, nice big bushy tomato plant with electroculture, exactly the same tomato plant with no electroculture. So there is a big difference, I have to admit. There is a very big difference. All right, Nick, calm down. Move along again, just to show you. Pumpkins actually work. You can see for yourself, that one has electroculture and that one doesn't. So yeah, you can see, big difference. Big difference. So, does electroculture actually work? You can see for yourself, seems to be working, but I'm going to be doing more further investigation into it. This year, I have to admit, with the amount of chemtrailing that's been sprayed, this weather has been insufficient. Plants are just not growing. You backtracked on that one, haven't you, Nick? I would rather do a proper test when the seasons, I take that very lightly, where it's a bit more warmer weather. But I shall continue doing electroculture because I'm going to show you my
squirrel. Bob the squirrel.
It's absolutely ginormous. Maybe because of electroculture, because I actually have 2 antennas in that one. All right, shut up, Nick. But yeah, I did a video on electroculture, and I have to admit, guys, it does work. Getting pests out, I've noticed that in the past couple of years. It has made a difference. Whether or not actually fertilise the soil, different thing. Vine weevil, Schaefer grubs, they have a massive problem. Green tea, what I've done, I've got a bamboo stick. And I just bought pure copper wire. Now, some coppers, if you find on Amazon, it's got mixed materials in it. It's got like aluminium and stuff like that. I try not to get that. I get pure copper wire and I wrap it around the... Actually, I've got a photograph here. I'll show you what I mean. Before I did... Hold on. Wait, no, where is that? Mate, your breath stinks. I don't know. I've got my cat on my lap. And I don't know what he's wet, and his breath is awful. Terrible, mate. Yeah, this is it. This is electroculture. So what I've done, wrap the bamboo around a stick. Now, don't do that. You've got to wrap it round like a Tesla coil right at the end. And you would plunk that right in the ground with the soil. And yeah, you just leave it. And apparently it harnesses the Earth's magnetic field to naturally fertilize your soil. I've been doing it for the past couple of years. To be honest with you, I change my soil in my pots every single year with new soil. So in terms of pest, and I've got electroculture inside and even outside, and I've noticed the pests have been less this year. The snails are bastards, but in terms of like other insects, I haven't had any. So I've been quite lucky, really. Yes, it is illegal to sell weed in England, 12 feet tall, still. Yeah, same here. My mum loves gardening as well. It's definitely... God, your chat's going mental, isn't it? Yeah, it's where I got my inspiration from. Copper, if placed, Copper, my mum says you've got to speak slowly and calmly and collectively. Read this. Copper, if you place it under the roots, it will actually stop the roots. Oh, really? Growing past that point, I think the idea is to use some flood and drain them. I use... If you place copper, if you place it under the root, it will actually... Really? Well, to be honest with you, I don't put the bamboo stick like all the way down into the soil. So I could do an experiment on that, to be honest with you, with the copper. But I do fertilize my plants, tomato plants. I've got melons growing in the greenhouse. I've got about 600 runner beans I'm currently growing at the moment. And that's all fertilized with... The best fertilize chemical to use is liquid seaweed. liquid seaweed is the best. It's organic as well. So, yeah, that's my little gardener tip for you guys. I was planting tomatoes earlier today. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've got 10 tomato plants and not cannabis plants, for Christ's sake. No, they're genuine tomato plants. I said I was only going to grow 2, but I ended up getting 10, all different varieties. It'd be nice. Yeah, it should be good this year if they don't block out the sun. Well, they're not really. There is a good garden centre here. Yeah, I love garden centres. That is so my pastime. It's pretty much nearly every couple of days I'm going to a garden centre for sure. I got green beans. Po blanto. Oh my god. You got peppers, sweet peppers, potatoes, sweet potatoes in pots. Which should I try with copper? All of them. Honestly, get yourself some bamboo. That will be the cheapest. The only thing that costs more green tea would just be the copper. There are loads of videos you can do on how to make electroculture. I've got one in my pot over there for my... I got a bird of paradise. I'm not joking. It's like 15 foot tall. I'll take a photograph. It's a white bird of paradise. And it's indoors. And I'm not joking. I stuck electroculture in it. And within like 3 years, it went from like 4'2" to like 4 foot high to like... It's nearly reaching the bloody roof here. It's like... Yeah, it's like 15 foot tall. It's crazy. And I got electroculture in that. So yeah, just go for it. Honestly, I think anything is going to naturally... It might have some beneficial stuff, but maybe what Moody says, don't stick it underneath the root. Moody, that's interesting what you're saying about that copper might stop the root process. It's more to do with the soil than anything, but I'll just do a bit of experiment with it. But yeah, it's all about experimenting. It's all part of gardening. Are you going to give the crowd a thumbs up here? Yes, please like and subscribe and give a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. It definitely does help, absolutely, especially with the algorithms. I love how you. My God, Nick, 420 too hard. Love how you have done your hedges, Nick. Yeah, I'm very particular. The thing is, I've done gardening for so long. I'm very well. It's like second nature for me. I go into a garden and I know exactly what he's doing. I'll put it this way: I was never shy of work, or I'm never shy of work when it comes to gardening. I'm very popular in Bath. I know Graham Hancock, for Christ's sake, and I did do the neighbour's garden in Clifton, and the neighbour was the original Stig from Top Gear. I bet you didn't know that. Nick the chemtra. Yeah, honestly, I am like I'm a proper chemie. I am a proper chemie. Oh my God, chat's going mental. Keeping you guys. I want to go to bed soon. I've got work in the morning. My cat just ran outside. He's going to fight with a fox in a minute. Might hear some screeching. Let's have a look. I missed my time to plant tomatoes. No, you still got time. But my plum tree, apple tree, and fig tree are starting to fruit. Yeah, mine as well. Moody, if you go to a garden centre, buy a plant already grown. I literally planted mine up. The last 3 that I had yesterday. Mate, you got time. The temperatures, even probably Sheep or Pod would say the same thing. The temperatures has been pretty crap. No, I'm going to backtrack. The temperatures has been fine, but the plants are not really... For this time of year, it should be right springing into life, and it hasn't really... It's dragged quite a bit. Seasons change. This is the thing, you know. Oh, you don't have a garden, man. Do you know what? I used to live in a flat, and what I used to do is just have hanging baskets. I used to have like a balcony or tubs. Have you got any spaces for some like pots or anything like that, mate? 12 feet tall. Put some little pansies anywhere. Pansies, it's nothing gay. Don't worry. It's a real plant. They're lovely plants. I have pansies everywhere. It's like, as I were in the shopping market, I was like, oh, do you know what I fancy? I really fancy some faggots. I was like, I don't know if I should say that on Alien Addict. I'm like, no, they're delicious. They're amazing. They're one of my favourite things. I put the whole set of faggots in my mouth. I absolutely love it. Delicious food. Algorithm, don't strike me on that one. I tell you what, if you've got anything copper related, save it. Copper pipes are so expensive because remember, copper is a conductor. So anything copper related, just make sure there's no gypsies about because they will steal it. They will steal it. Could I strip an old electrical? Yes, you can do that. Yeah. Any electrical cabling. I did see a lady who was doing electroculture, and she would strip cabling out of like old wiring and stuff like that. So yeah, you can do it as long as there's copper. I can't see why not, Green Tea. Yeah, just give it a go. Give it a go. I can't see no harm done. I've done it for excuse me, 2 years now. In fact, when did I do that video with the electroculture on my Rumble channel? 11 months. So that was, yeah, it was last year. I've been here for about, well, I've done it for the past couple of years, really. So give it a go. I can't see no harm done. Can't see no harm done. Yeah, honestly, if you get a allotment, it's a lot of work. It really is. It's a lot of work to do. You have to keep there dedicated, and especially like on hot weather, you need to water it on a daily. Literally, I water my garden religiously on a daily basis. I have to, because otherwise the plants will just shrivel and die. You lucky son of a bitch. I would love to have that. In fact, there is something called Cure Leaf. Oh my god, I'm burping again. I do apologise. Yeah, Benjamin, you said you lived in London, didn't you? Who do you go for your medical purposes? Is there a specific company? I heard Cure Leaf. Now, I'm not making excuses, but I suffer from really bad tinnitus. If I showed you what I hear 24/7, a lot of people probably go insane. It's bad. It's bad. It's quite concerning. So I would backtrack on that. Tomato plants make me feel a lot better for it. Moody, don't say anything. It chillaxes me a little bit. So it would be nice to have a legal preference, put it that way. I think Cure Leaf, I think Hidden says that's one of the best places to get legal tomato plants. Do you get hedgehogs? Yes, we do. We get hedgehogs, badgers. We've got 2 hedgehogs. We've got a badger, 2 foxes. We got a deer that comes in now and then. And and a load of rats and mice that my cat keeps on bringing in. But they do get rid of slugs. Now, I had a massive problem with slugs last year. If it rains, they come out in droves because I live in a bit like a countryside, so that they are absolutely everywhere. So what I do, Rebecca, this sounds really harsh, is that they say don't use salt, because one thing I noticed, I would see a slug on my lawn and I'll pour salt on it, and then it'll be like a massive dead patch of dead grass and a dead slug in it. But what I would do is, it sounds awful, I'll cut the slug's heads off. I know it sounds bad, but when you've got 100 of them, when you've got 600 runner beans and you've got 5 slugs per 600 runner beans, you get kind of pissed off. You really do. And luckily, touch wood, this year, maybe because of electroculture or because we have a lack of rain, we haven't had any, well, I haven't had any slugs or snails. So, yeah. I grew everything in pots. My neighbours use glassophyte. And my old garden soil is oh no. Did the spray go over? Yeah, glossophyte is what's in weed killer. Guilty. I do use it only on gravel paths. I have tried green tea, I'm not joking. I have tried so many natural remedies for weed killer and I can't get anything right. Nothing works. I've tried salt, bleach, baking soda, powder, every single chemical underneath the sun. Look, salt dries out my grass. If I poured salt, pure salt, on the lawn, the slug would be dead and there'd be a circular patch of dead grass. I suppose it might that salt substance might work on small weeds, but when you got dandelions, with the massive root, they got massive roots in there. They're kind of hard to kill, but apparently dandelions are extremely healthy for you. Apparently they're really, really good to eat. But yeah, glossite. What I would do, green tea, glossite does biodegrade within time. Was it, if that was sometime last year, I would probably fork the soil. Okay, because like I said, glossite will biodegrade. Give it like a year. But what I would do, probably in the autumn, is get like a really big fork and literally turn your soil over, break everything up, and I'll get like either some like soil conditioner or some horse manure to sort of fertilize the soil. Yeah, glossite is a bastard. It is. YouTube's going to kill me for this one, but it is a cancer-causing, chemical. It is. So what weed killer is, what it does, guys, it don't burn the plants. It actually tricks the weed it over-fertilizes the weed, so it tricks it and it basically kills it. That's the way it's doing. It's basically over-fertilizing the plant itself, or weed, whatever's been sprayed. So it's basically genetically engineering the plant to actually kill itself in Minecraft. Lightning is great for fertilizing soil. It's only thing it can. Only thing it can track nitrogen clean out of the air, so the plants can then consume it. All right. However, don't place the lightning conductor by your plants. Yeah, if you've got a flipping lightning storm, Moody, it'll be flipping having lightning strikes all over your garden. That's the only thing I worry about, because I've got copper everywhere. It's like a flipping conductor, isn't it? A flipping test coil in my garden. Lightning, yeah. I just I'm quite reluctant to put like massive like copper rods in my garden, purely for that factor. If we do have lightning, I would definitely stay indoors. Are you? Oh, I'll ask for green tea. Green tea. Yeah, manure is good. Even like cow poop is pretty good. But to be honest with you, if you want, I'm going to show you the best fertilizer. Okay. No. We've done 3.5 hours. Flipping now. Talking about gardening. Right. Right. Green tea. If you want and everyone in chat, if you want a really good fertilizer, it's this. It's called X6 Super Strength Natural Plant Feed plus Soil Conditioner. I adore the smell of this. I shove my face in it and I love it. It's the smell of bark and all that sort of stuff. I love it. But that is extremely strong stuff. And that will help your soil, green tea. You're in US. Yeah, I don't know what soil you get green tea, to be honest with you, but that's a very strong manure. I don't know if you'd be able to get it in America. 6 times super strength natural plant feed. Go check that out. That will help your soil. Oh my god, chat's going ballistic. I gotta catch up with chat. Hold on, let's do this. Oh, bloody hell. Flipping hell. I'm going to skip a little bit in chat, guys. I do apologise. Let's have a look. Let's go back. Okay. Oh, hey, Pete. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. How's it going? Oh, your chicken kills slugs. Oh, yeah, that's all right then. Yeah, some of the fertilizers and chemicals are actually banned in this country, even though you can get it on Amazon, which technically glyphosate, which what green tea was mentioning, that's technically banned in the UK, but the fact you can get it on Amazon, in fact, I've got it in my weed killer. If you're going to get a spray nozzle for your weed killers, get one that's actually long that goes directly into the ground. I don't spray, especially on a windy day. You know what I mean? Substitute to beer yeast. Yeah, that attracts the slugs. The bastards. That bloody nightmare. Oh, chickens eat them. Awesome. FYI, Pythurin natural pest killer made of. Oh, Moody, don't even attempt to ask me to say that word. It degrades in water and in sunlight. It contacts no system. Okay, all right. I'll give that a go because I've been trying to find a natural weed killer. It's been really difficult. I've been stung by a bee, wasp, and had false widow, but not too bad. Oh, you've had a false widow. I've been stung by so many wasps. Bees I haven't. I don't know if I get an allergic reaction from that. But a false widow. Oh, was that painful, Rebecca? That's been awful. Thunderbolt and lightning. Very, very frightening. Galileo. Let's have a little look. Chicken and ladybugs. Apparently, ladybugs have chlamydia in it. Apparently, the black ones do. Sexually transmitted disease. Fun fact for you. I think a string. Yeah, give it a go. Even just like horse manure, green tea. But I mean, for instance, my pots. What I get, like my melons, I got 40 melon plants and there are 4 different types of melons. Okay, so if you get peat-free compost is shite. You have to get peat, which is actually banned in the UK. So if you get peat in the compost, get it because it's perfect. So I get horse manure, compost. I got that 6 times stuff, and I've got a soil that is for vegetables and it's for vegetables, and I blend all 4 of that together. And I get something called phosphate, which so you've got potassium, phosphate, and nitrogen. So nitrogen is for the leaves, phosphate is for the roots, and potassium is for the fruit, or for the buds, basically. So I mix all that together, and it's got a nice balance. Plus the liquid seaweed, perfect. Honestly, you can't go wrong. So blend your soil, make it really nice. Trust me, and. In terms of stopping Glossophy, I don't know. I just if your neighbour's going to do it again, probably cover it up. I don't know, with like a tarpaulin and something like that. But yeah, it's just thing is with people that don't know how to use weed killer. I mean, I had clients that say to me, says, "Oh, I just bought a weed killer sprayer because I'll come in and normally do it," but they always have like the nozzle not screwed on properly. And they end up like killing half of their grass, like a massive like dead patch going across the lawn. It just takes one little bit of spray, and it creates mayhem, But yes, horse manure is good. Yes, the finest. Chickens will take care of most of your pests. Yes, very, very true. Horse dung too. Yes, horse shit in the bloody street near here. They'd never pick it up. But again, you could pick it up and put it in your soil. Put it that way. I don't know how to keep saying cow poop. I don't know. You can get zoo poo. I've seen bags of it, which is like a mixture of like animal poo, which is good. So it's good for the soil. It's good for the soil. It's good for it. Yes, chicken ends. It's the same with dog piss as well. Can ruin a lawn as well. Let's have a little look. Oh my god, chat is going. I want to go bed, chat. For 3.5 hours. If you want a great tea for slow and calm and collective. If you want a great tea for the garden, a big bucket with a tight lid. Put in seaweed and fish guts parts. Oh, Moody. Fill it with water and leave it for 6 months and open it and knock you out. Yeah, I could imagine putting flipping fish guts. There's a weed that grows in this country. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But if you leave it in a pot for about 6 weeks, it smells like sewage, but is the best fertilizer you can use for your garden. I think it's called comfrey. I think it's called like that. But another great fertilizer is you'd be surprised. Even because you think fish blood and bone fish, blood, and bone. It's basically fish, blood, and the bones of the fish. So if you put fish in the ground, it's still good stuff. Still good stuff. Where are you at, Green Sea? I live in southern. Is it Illinois? Is that right? My friend has a small holding of goats and chickens and sheep. Does quite well. I get organic goat cheese and milk and eggs, but it's hard work. Yeah, being a farmer must be extremely hard work. Where I go to get, me and the missus, we go and get our breakfast, and it's at a farm. And I tell you, the breakfast you get, like big breakfast, bacon, tomatoes, like a big boy breakfast. It's typical English breakfast, so to speak, and everything's organic. All the meat's organic, and the eggs is like completely different. So support your farmers. But yeah, goat cheese. I don't know. I don't think I've had goat cheese before. I'm gonna have to buy some in the farm shop, because you're gonna get organic there. I tell you, I had proper organic milk, and what a difference in a cup of tea. Oh, lovely. Not bad for what's things I can take, but probably a bee sting, probably not. Hopefully I never got stung by one. Hopefully not. Do you get rid of your fungus to grow corn? I get smut. To be honest with you, smut. What's that? I'm just going to Google that a minute. Is that a fertilizer? Is that? Oh, that's interesting. Never heard of that smuts before. Yeah, corn. Yeah, to be honest with you, I have tried growing corn in the past, Mark, and to be honest with you, I've never had any luck. Never had. It only grew like 3 foot tall, and they're like in corn like that, like tiny little small one. Yeah, I mean, if there's any garden centre, if I've got some spaces for it, actually, I reckon it needs full sun to grow corns. Definitely. Oh my god, chat. Oh my god, it's never ending. Volcanic soil was great. Yes, that's very, very good as well. Sorry guys, I got to skip over chat. I've got to end the stream soon. Corn smut is a delicacy in some countries. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, you probably get it rampant in your area then, mate. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, it's always a bastard when you get like at least like a pest or like a fungi. We got something called honey fungus and ash dieback, which is a number of fungi infections for trees in our area. So yeah, that sucks, man. It's a bit like tomato plants. Sometimes you get tomato blight. The plant just literally goes all brown and collapses. It's weird. It just like happens like that, either through fungi or through a or pest or something like that. It's disheartening, isn't it? Because you spend months nourishing something like a baby, and then suddenly one day it just like something eats it, or it just collapses all of a sudden. It's very disheartening. It's the whole part of gardening, mate. It's bloody terrible. It's a learning curve. It's not terrible. It is a learning curve. It's a learning curve. Right, guys. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end this now because I've got to be up in 5.5 hours to go to work. It's scheduled to piss down in the morning, which means if it's raining, I don't have to work. So it's nice because I'm gardening tomorrow, obviously. So yeah, that's it, everyone. Thanks for joining me on this longest live stream I've done so far. 3.5 hours. Fantastic. So I hope that was entertaining for you in terms of crop circles. I think we nailed down what can create the crop circles. I think I'm going from the tubular things that are coming down to the ground. Some say are the balls of light. I don't know, but the testimonies that we have heard from the people, from the farmer and that woman and that guy, was saying that the fact that these tubular things are coming down and gently laying down the corn. And yeah, it's interesting stuff. Yeah, and on Sunday, if we do go on Sunday, if I do go to the crop circle, I will do a video which I'll be uploading to obviously Alien Addict. And do be sure to check out Alien Addict on Spotify, and I will upload just an hour show It's all audio, so don't worry, it won't be a live stream. And talking about whatever. Introduce myself or something like that. I don't know. So yeah. So thanks to everyone in chat. Let's go through chat one more time. So green tea. From crop circles to corn smart. We went from flipping 9/11 at one point. Justifications of those buildings. It was all over the place today. That's Alien Addict. That's what we do here. We're all over the place. So Rebecca. Thanks for being here. We're all talking plants. Green tea. Moody Mongrel. Buy me. I was going to say that then. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Moody? But Moody, thanks for being here, brother. John Strokes. Sheep Pop Pop. Corbell's Cat. 12 feet tall. Do apologise. Mark G. Also, come say goodbyes now before I go. And I shall catch you next week for another live show. I think I might do German Flying Saucer, and possibly I'll chuck in a quick pub quiz for you guys. All right. So yes, please like and subscribe, and if you do like what you see, spread the word. And I'll be back next week for another live show on Alien Addict. Right, that's it for chat. I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, and I'll be in touch on Twitter if I do go to the crop circle on Sunday. And if keep your eyes to the skies, because something is definitely coming. I sound like Ross Coulthart. No, it's not. We've just seen balls of light in the sky. Seen it for a long period of time. But anyway, I shall catch you all soon on Alien Addict. Where is the button? Do I click for the intro? See you later. I think we can all confirm that crop circles is in fact, I was going to say fake and gay then. No, they are real, but some of them are fake and gay. Right, have a good weekend. I had no idea where I was going with that. I was trying to make something funny. Anyway, have a good weekend.